Okay, guys, welcome. We got the granny cam on today. I got to make sure everything is okay, okie dokie. Let me check my audio, guys. I'm going to check my audio. Welcome to YIQU TV, guys. We got the granny cam on, and today we're going to be talking about Nolan Wells once again. Sad but true. That's what we're going to be talking about. And for some reason, I can't see my shit, guys. Where is it? It's always when I get here online, it's always acting a fool. So here we go. We up and running. Okay. Anyway, guys, sad situation with Nolan Wells. All the way sad, and a lot of you. I said this in another video. Some of you go sit up here and say this ain't the time to making fun. Guys, it's never too early to make fun. Never too early to make fun. Never too early. Anyway, never too early to make fun. Before we get started, guys, we're going to say a little prayer. This prayer is not only going to be for everybody. It's going to be for especially black people. Because as you can see, guys, in the news, we are drowning. We are drowning, guys. Guys, make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And guys, very soon, I'm going to put on the phone line. You can get on the phone line here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And then another thing, guys. The phone number to call in is 682-812-9713. Guys, my contact information is here, and we got the granny cam on. So we're going to say a prayer, not only just for black people. We're going to say a prayer for all people. Because, guys, we should be getting along by this time. We should be getting along with each other. But for some reason, we just can't get this shit together. We can't get it together. Okay, guys, we have to stop as a people. We have to stop believing people when they say they don't see color. Because as you can see, everybody sees color. That's just what it is. Let's just call a thing a thing. We're going to have to learn to get along with each other. And guys, back in the day when I was working, oh my goodness, there was a lot of jealousy going on. Not with the light-skinned girls. The brown-skinned girls was jealous too. Now, you know, back in the day, guys, you couldn't even get a position. A higher position at your job, everybody get mad and a mofo up in there. Okay, so we got to learn to get along better in the workplace. That's what we're going to have to do. And stop telling everybody your damn business. And another thing, guys, stop going to isolated places. And you don't tell nobody where the hell you going. We're going to have to stop doing that shit immediately. Guys, before I start the video, guys, I just want to say a couple of little things. Another thing. They said Nolan was a good swimmer. God bless him. God bless him. God rest his soul. The whole thing in a nutshell, guys. Okay, y'all not Nolan, and some of y'all a lot older than Nolan was. Okay, don't think you could take one motherfucking swim class and all of a sudden you ready for the motherfucking Olympics. That's just not how it works. We got to be careful with that, guy. We got to be careful going into them lakes and going to them oceans. We got to be careful with that. See, our thing, let's just keep it real. Our thing is barbecuing. Okay, we know how to barbecue. Okay, you mentioned barbecue, guys. A light bulb goes off in our motherfucking heads. We love to barbecue. Barbecuing is our thing. Swimming in the ocean, in the lake, even in the damn swimming pool, that's not what we do. That's not what we as a people do. Sleeping in the woods with a bunch of bears, that's not our thing to do. Okay? And another thing, guys, and this is sort of kind of offline, stop inviting yourself. Stop inviting yourself out to eat with other people and you know you ain't got a damn dime in your damn pocket. Let's get started.
And I'm assuming you wake up the next day and then what happens?
I wake up the next day at about 7:30 and my dad had texted me because obviously Nolan's photo was all over Facebook and I just saw it everywhere and I was freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, I assumed, Nolan's just, we had been drinking all day and that he's just sleeping somewhere and, that he's okay. But I didn't want to believe that if we didn't know for sure. So, next day I woke up and my stepdad walked to my room and he said, hey, have they heard anything about Nolan? Like, what's going on? Because I hadn't spoke to him, and he was like, I was like, yeah, no, like, I don't know. I had just gotten up, and he was like, all right, well, we're going to get on the boat and looking for him. And I was
So
like,
there has been a lot of chatter online, especially since Ben Crump announced the results of the preliminary autopsy in Nolan Wells' death. And there are people speculating that it somehow shows foul play, indicates foul play. Ben Crump said that the medical examiner did not rule it out. There are other people who are saying it proves nothing, that it doesn't show anything involving foul play, certainly not racism. You can't tell that from...
Let me tell you something, guys. I love me some Ben Crump. I love me some Ben Crump. Love him to death. But let me tell you something. He needs to stay in his damn lane. He needs to stay in his lane. He is not a damn physician. Why in the hell was the physician not there? I don't understand. Welcome, Pac-Man, and welcome Just Smile and Wave. I welcome both of y'all. Anyway, welcome all y'all. But anyway, why is he sitting up here reading the medical examiner's report? Okay? You ain't went to med school not one damn day in your life. I love Ben Crump, love him to death. Guys, don't start sending me no damn hate mail and hate chats. I don't like that shit. But anyway, why in the hell is he reading the report? Okay, and then when people was asking him questions, he didn't know what the fuck to say. I don't understand that for the life of me.
autopsy, but a lot of people are trying to read into this preliminary finding and figure out, well, what does it all mean? And the only reason I want to do this right now is it doesn't really mean anything yet. That the information that is available does not prove accident, foul play, anything. And it doesn't lean one way or another. The injury to the back of his head could be foul play, but it also could be pooling from the body laying on a slab, which was the case when the body was examined by the Mississippi medical examiner. So we don't know. It could be one, it could be the other, we don't know. So there's nothing. Now, a lot of people are saying this has to be foul play. It doesn't make sense. Well, and they're saying it because why would people hire a lawyer? Why would people 86 their texts that they may have had between Nolan
That don't make no sense. Don't play.
people?
That don't make no sense.
It could be foul play, but it also, look, one of the scenarios, and I'm not saying...
Okay, if it ain't foul play, somebody please tell me, where are the damn bones to his damn throat? If it's not foul play, where are the bones to his damn throat? Why do y'all get to the island, from the island to mainland, and why do y'all just go eat breakfast? Y'all don't even notify the doggone parents that boy is missing till 11 o'clock at night. What the hell is that? And then when you call the mama, you sit up there and had the nerve to say, where is Nolan? And the mama listening at you like, shit, he was with you. What the fuck you asking me that for?
This happened because I don't know, but one of the scenarios could be this, that they were all drinking, which one of the friends said, that maybe they were drunk and they were on a boat and there was horseplay and Nolan either fell off the boat or was pushed off the boat during the horseplay and hit his head, went under, and they couldn't find him.
Okay, so if that fucking happened, then call the popo. If that's what happened, that's all we asking. Call the popo if that's what happened. Why y'all hiding shit? If an accident, it was an accident. Who the fuck don't drink on 4th of July weekend? Okay, everybody named Mama, even Granny, drank on the 4th of July weekend. So if that's what happened, then call the popo.
And, that is a scenario. I have no idea what happened, but it's a scenario. And maybe the people who were involved in that freaked out. They thought, oh my God, he died, and we were on the boat and we were engaged in the horseplay. And they call a lawyer and they eliminated text. I mean, it's possible. It doesn't mean it's racism. It could be just covering their asses. Or it could be racism. Or it could be foul play. The only point I'm trying to make is that people are just doing everything they can to read into things that are not necessarily readable at this point. And Ben Crump had a news conference and he presented all of this. And yeah, he said that his medical examiner hasn't ruled out foul play. Well, he hasn't ruled out accident either. We're nowhere in terms of the physical evidence pointing one way or the other. Now that may change. And the fact that the medical examiner for the family did not have the neck area, that could prove
That's strange
really
in a motherfucker.
important.
That's strange.
That's being
Don't play.
evaluated right
That
now
is
by the
strange.
Mississippi medical examiner, and maybe it is significant and points to foul play. Maybe it doesn't. We don't know.
To teach your kids, especially your kids that are hanging out with rich white kids,
God bless
that
them.
is not good. You gotta stop letting them hang out with rich white kids. This Nolan Wells situation
That's sad.
never should have happened. The parents of Nolan Wells should have known better than to let him hang out with these kids. I have an older son. I'm not saying it's the parents' fault.
Now,
but
it's
I'm
a
just
white-
saying
it's a white
it
guy
happens all
saying
the
this.
time. My older son is half black. He looked more black than he did half. But he got into a similar situation. He was fighting with a bunch of rich kids in North Atlanta.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
The richest neighborhood in Cherokee County, Georgia. And he was fighting with a bunch of boys over a girl. And lucky for him, he didn't wind up dead. He just
Oh,
wound up
God
locked
bless
up
him.
for a while. But it could have wound up with him being killed. And, we as parents, we have to do a better job in informing our children about who they should and shouldn't hang out
True
with.
that.
This
True
is a Nolan
that.
Wells case. It's taking a lot of different twists and turns. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. What do you think about it thus far?
Well, the phone has been erased and the parents have had to ping it. There's been no clear investigation. I think it reeks of a cover-up.
Yes,
And
it
so
does.
we wanna
Yes,
get
it
to the
does.
bottom of it. So I think Attorney Crump being involved, I think Kaepernick family, I think people want to get to justice. And now the truth is coming out slowly, but the truth is coming out. There is a pattern of
I want you guys that's in here in this chat. Those of you who are in the chat, if you think this was an accident, type of one. If you think it was an accident. Okay, guys, we in here, guys. We're going to agree to disagree up in here. If you think it was an accident, type of one. But if you think it wasn't an accident, type of two. I personally, and I ain't saying this because I'm black, guys. I personally do not think that this was a damn accident. There's too many things being covered up in this particular case.
deception and denial and cover-up.
You think there's a cover-up? So who are you?
Hell to the air, there's a cover up.
Well, I first start with the legal authorities. They should do a thorough investigation. That the phone was separated from the child. He was body was returned to an alternate location. That the messages have been erased.
There you
that
go.
The family had independently retrieved the phone. These are all things that the sheriff should have done. And so I would like to see the law enforcement do its job and give the parents, the family justice and closure.
You know, I
That's
spoke
what
with
they
Madison
want.
Crockett about this a few days ago, and she feels like race is definitely playing a role in this investigation, or just in this case, I should say. What do you think?
Well, if you talk
Thank you so much, Troy. Thank you for participating. Thank you. I believe, guys, there's some foul play involved. And the parents deserve some answers. They baby go on a damn trip with some of his friends, and he don't make it back. And then y'all don't tell the parents until 11 o'clock that damn night. Evidently, y'all got back to the mainland roughly about 4. So from 4 o'clock to 11, what the fuck was y'all doing? That y'all couldn't call the mama and say, hey, if it was true, now we don't know if it's true. Why couldn't y'all call the mama and the daddy and say, hey, Nolan wanted to stay behind? You should have been said that. You're going to wait all the way to 11 o'clock. And rumor and speculation have it with great possibility y'all was out there cleaning that damn boat. So what was on that boat? Some blood? What was on the damn boat?
about 5 or 7 young white guys and one African American child. They're out swimming. He ends up dead, and it seems to have been a bit of a scuffle or some altercation. I'm not quite sure. And then everyone leaves their one friend behind who just happens to be black. Well, this is also, as we speak today, the anniversary, the the date of Emmett Till's birth. And so I come from Chicago, and that was
That's
a Mississippi
sad.
case. So history is repeating itself again.
History is repeating itself. So you're comparing the Nolan Wells case to the Emmett Till case.
Well, I'm just saying that there's a similarity, that there's a chord, there's a melody that comes from injustice.
And the whole thing in a nutshell, it has some great similarities to the damn Emmett Till case. Because you got Katie on the Nolan Wells side. Katie, I've said this before. Katie knew that she had to say something, even though she ain't said nothing in person. She been talking to her mama and her sister. She had to say something, guys. And she pretty much said that Nolan got on the boat with the boys. And now she putting the blame back on the boys. See, Katie was out there with her daddy and her uncle. So I am starting to think there's something going on there with the uncles and the daddy. Okay, so yeah, it's very similar to the Emmett Till case because you're dealing with two white women. Okay, you're dealing with two white women. Even though with the Emmett Till case, the white woman said that Emmett whistled at her and grabbed her. And guys, they came and abducted him in the middle of the motherfucking night. Okay, so guys, you cannot tell me that there is not some type of similarity going on. Guys, the granny cam is on. If you want to get on here live, guys, the number is 682-812-9713.
People that killed Emmett Till, they knew who did it, and they never were prosecuted. The young people that were around Mr. Wells, they know something, and they've never been thoroughly interrogated.
There you go.
Well, it is an ongoing investigation. I mean, we still have some way to go. How do you think this is all going to shake out?
Well, I want the truth to come forward. I want the young
That's
people
all we
to
want.
know.
That's all we want.
They're lured up. They're behind their family members that have judges. They've had days and weeks to corroborate stories. And so we need.
And the damn stepmother judge of one of the boys. She all on social media giving her damn opinion. As a judge, you're not supposed to be doing that shit. How is that possible that you are not being impartial there on social media? I don't understand that. And then you delete your shit too because you say people is threatening your ass. Come on now.
Independent investigation.
Independent.
So now erased. The pictures have been deleted. The family had to independently retrieve the voice messages themselves. The state has not lifted a finger then or now with Emmett Till or with Wells
there you go.
to get to the murder of a young black child.
Who does an independent investigation? You're saying
the white woman. And guys, I ain't trying to be prejudiced because I'm biracial my damn self. But the white woman in the Emmett Till case, she later on said, well, she was made to say the motherfucker because somebody found some documents that was supposed to be sealed for 10 motherfucking years. She finally said in the Emmett Till case that she was trying to tell her husband that Emmett did not do that. And do you know they had beat that boy for nothing? They beat him unrecognizable. His damn mama, God bless her. The mama said she wanted an open casket because she wanted everybody to see what they had did to her baby. Yeah, there's some damn similarities.
Sheriff's Department isn't enough. So then who handles it?
Well, like we've seen before, this is where the federal judiciary is supposed to come in. But there's been
feds.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it's a murder. This Mr. Wells had a right to be alive.
True that.
He has a right to life, and that's been taken from him. So who did it? And if the local judiciary fails you, then this is where the federal government is supposed to supersede and intervene. So I would like to see a federal investigation.
And this is allegedly a picture of.
Okay, guys, well, we move on with this. I'm not sure if there's some shenanigans or whatever the case may be. I'm not really sure if I believe it, but I can see what the fuck he's talking about. Let's check this shit out.
A white boy covering up a body, presumably the body of Nolan Wells, who was found dead on Horn Island on July 4th or July 6th, 2026. Now, you see it is nighttime. You see a white boy with the shirt off, and you also see somebody in the background. Now, I'm going to zoom in on this picture. If you look right by the left picture and you look by his right foot, and if you follow the bottom line, you will see what looks like to be a black body with an
Okay, can y'all see it? I know y'all that blue line on his screen is real thick, but it looked like there's a body, and it looks like at the end of the body, it looks like there's an afro. I'm not really sure about this.
afro head. Now let's zoom in a little bit closer to this picture, and you see once again, if we'll zoom in a little bit, zoom in. So at the bottom, right there, it seems like is what? A head. And there is a, looks like a body. Now I can't tell if that is the shoreline where his feet are in the water. The white boy's feet are in the water, and he's
I ain't sure about this. I ain't sure about this, guys.
right there on the shoreline. And then if you look to the right side of the picture, you'll see his foot standing over what may have been already buried. And if you look where the cursor is, that may be the head that is buried. And once again, I don't know if this picture has any validity, but people are saying that this is possibly Nolan Wells' body and being buried by this guy right here.
Interesting.
Zoom in a little closer.
Now, I'm not really sure, guys. Seem like we grabbing at straws. But if you look at the white boy in the back, he is looking kind of shocked. Why would you be looking shocked? And why are you focusing so hard on this guy doing some shit with his feet? That's the whole thing. I'm not really sure, guys. I think we might be pulling at straws, but why is the guy so he's so fixated on what the fuck this guy's doing? I don't understand it.
Y'all let me know if y'all recognize, these faces.
For Christine, it said one place, but for them on Snapchat, it showed another place. So that's the place we went to. And it showed that everybody that was in the house, it was like a lot of people there. So that's how we knew where to go to. We went there.
All right, Rebecca, if you want to get on here, you can get on here, guys. I respect everybody's opinion. If you want to get on here on the Granny Cam, you can get on here 682-812-9713. Let's finish it up.
There, they were all there. They were sitting there, lights off, watching TV. They did. They gave me the phone, but it took about 15 minutes to get the phone because I even asked. I'm like, did y'all have to walk back to Horn Island to get the phone, or like, where's the phone? Because it took so long when they said it was when Wyatt told me it was in his truck. It took him so long to get the phone back to me.
You are seeing friends of the Wells family speaking.
Rebecca, you ain't got to text a motherfucker to death. You ain't got to text me, girlfriend. Get on here. Don't get on here and text me. Okay? If you got some shit to say, get on the mic and let's do this thing.
Laura Coates Live. Okay, I want to talk about the phone issue. And again, I don't want Nolan to be dead at all. I want this to be an accidental death. But I am not turning a blind eye.
There you go.
To concerning aspects of this investigation. In the end, it may turn out to be accidental. But why would you leave Nolan there? Why would you say your boat
it makes no sense
sinking and then take multiple more trips in the boat that night?
There you go.
According to
break it down, Nancy. Break it.
So many of the facts are not lining up. But first, let's start with a digital footprint. Today, Mac, joining us, Crime Stories investigative reporter. What are they saying about the phone?
Well, the family says that when they were able to finally retrieve the phone, okay, they get there to get the phone back and have to wait 15 minutes outside while the young people who had the phone for some reason took their time getting it to them. And when they did, when they got
I don't see that as a problem.
No, well,
I don't see that as a problem. They're teen boys. They got to go outside and they got to get the phone out of the truck. What I see as the problem is the phone is there and he's somewhere else. Who leaves their phone behind?
There you go.
Who leaves their phone behind when they're on a desert island?
The whole thing in a nutshell. The mother of Nolan Wells sat up there and said that she do something wasn't right when Nolan wasn't on that snappy chat. He loved to get on that snappy chat. That's when the mother says something is not right. Okay? And then why would Why would an 18-year-old boy let some other boys take his damn keys and his damn cell phone to stay behind on a damn island with a white girl in hopes of getting some cootie cat? That makes no sense. And then some of y'all sit up here and say he could have got a ride on another boat. He's a black boy. Ain't nobody getting no ride on another boat. Not no black boy. That's not going to happen. Okay, you can't even get a damn taxi in the city, and you talking about getting a ride on the boat, and everybody out there, the majority of the people who owns the boats is some white folk.
On an island, why would you go without your phone? That's what sparked my interest, Dave Mack.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood where you were headed with it, but here's the catcher: is that Nolan was always taking pictures, Nancy, and so the part about this that really gets home is that he always had his phone to take pictures and was always uploading. He was very active in those pictures being published online.
There you go.
The family actually got his phone. It had been cleaned. There was no Instagram or Snapchat that had been removed. It was gone.
Wait, hold on. Let me understand something, Dave Mack. You say there was no Snapchat, no Insta. It was gone. You mean it was all gone, or just gone for that day?
Just for that day.
Now that's peculiar.
They suspect that
that's peculiar.
Based on that other messages or media may have also been deleted.
Okay. All right. I saw one here right now, Dave Mack. I'm going to an expert that knows more than me and you put together, Dave. Heather Barnhart is with us, digital forensic expert with Celebrite and the SANS Institute, one of the digital forensic investigators in the Koberger case that cracked that wide open. She is co-author of Practical Mobile Forensics in its 4th edition, which means a lot of people are using it to teach and reading it. Her blog, Smarter Forensics.
Break it down now. Break it down.
Heather Barnhart, thank you for being with us.
Guys, the Granny Cam is open. If you want to get on here and talk, you can give me a call at 682-812-9713.
Tonight, number one, can you look at a phone and determine if items were deleted?
Absolutely. And Nancy, here's a huge thing to think about. I assume this phone had a password. There are certain things that you need the password to do, such as delete activity. But if you don't have a password and you pick up your phone, if you're touching the screen, that leaves a trace. If you're trying to power it off, that leaves a trace. So we should be able to see people without a password trying to actively interact with that phone, as well as someone that has it.
Fact, man, don't you make me laugh up in here. Don't you make me do it.
So how can you look at a phone, Heather Barnhart, and determine the difference between no photos were taken that day? Also, can you take photos even if you don't?
Good morning, Glenn. Good morning.
I think you can, but I'm not an expert. How can you look at a phone and determine no photos were taken that day as opposed to items were deleted? Because can't you delete from the deleted file?
Yes, you can do.
Why are we deleting shit, period? That makes no sense. Why was that a priority? Wasn't the priority should have been to find out where the hell Nolan was. Not deleting his damn social media and the damn pictures. That should have been the damn priority. But no, you guys got his phone, start deleting shit. And then you deleted your own social media, took your shit down because you said people were threatening your monkey behinds.
You can do everything you just talked about. But again, all of that leaves a trace. So we would do a forensic acquisition, and that's really important here. Someone just looking in the phone, you can get a glimpse, but you can't see what's deleted and hiding below the surface. We need a forensic acquisition to do that. We can tell if it was just soft deleted, so like sitting in a trash can, or a hard delete. So if you empty your trash on your phone and then you go and throw it into a dumpster and the trash is taken away, there is a log that tracks everything. Also with timestamps on when that activity occurred.
Okay, I need that broken down in regular people talk. We're not all
don't piss Nancy off.
experts. Could you say that?
Break it down for her.
Everybody can understand.
Yeah. So let's say Nolan had an iPhone. He could take pictures without cell service at all. Cell service and Wi-Fi do not matter. He could even post them to Instagram or to Snapchat, and they'll sit in a temporary directory until he has service. Sometimes that fails, but we still see that activity when we do forensics. If you delete a picture, Nancy, it sits in a recycle bin on your iPhone, and you can recover.
See, the whole thing is that snappity chat and that Life 360, that is going to bring a lot of clues about what happened to Nolan. Because his mother said when she noticed that he wasn't on that snappity chat, she knew that something was wrong. However, when the other boys got to the mainland, they didn't call her. They didn't call the parents until 11 o'clock at night. Why the fuck it take you so long? You got back to the mainland rough about 4 o'clock, 4:30. Why it take you so long? You act like you so concerned on these damn interviews, and you didn't message the parents until 11 o'clock at night. Stop playing.
That for about 30 to 40 days as a normal user. If you empty that trash, it's not recoverable, but we doing forensics can still find it.
Okay, so you mean it's not recoverable for me, a layperson, but you can't recover it. Even the pictures.
It's in the cloud, Nancy. It's in the damn cloud.
Or snaps.
Oh my God. Nancy acting slow today.
If you get a full file system acquisition, and I realize that's really nerdy, but this is where acquisition and time to evidence matters. Deleted data exists and sits there for a period of time. So time to evidence is everything here.
How long will it sit there?
If it's an iPhone, it's a little bit different than Android. iPhone, Apple's more forgiving and you have about 30 days. With Android, you could have just a few days until location artifacts are purged.
You mean...
You know what? Why in the fuck? Why in the fuck? We can't find what's going on with Nolan's phone and the data from that phone. However, with the Nancy Guthrie case, she didn't even have a damn Nest Cam subscription. And they managed to find that data, but you can't find shit that's going on Nolan's cell phone. Okay? I don't understand this shit.
Okay, a few days, you mean 1 day, 2 days, 10 days?
It could be between 1 and 7 on Android. But with iPhone, it's typically about 7 to 30
7
days.
we're safe. 1 we're not safe.
Where's the data?
And what I'm referring to is if he did have an Android, can I recover if there were photos, snaps, texts deleted? That's what I'm trying to find out, because if somebody's deleting texts and emails and snaps and pictures, I got a problem. Why delete?
Exactly.
That is my
It
problem.
makes
Now,
no
here's my next
sense.
question.
Break it down.
I'm sure I'm going to say it very inarticulately, but I think you'll know what I mean. Even if you cannot recover, let's pretend it was an Android, even if you cannot recover the actual item itself, can you see a log that says something was deleted?
Uh-oh. We get down to it now.
Yes, but it depends on the activity. So Snapchat will be tracked differently than a regular photo versus a regular text message. But deep dive forensics will recover the truth. And you mentioned Brian Koberger. There was nothing. All that data was cleaned up and deleted, but the lack of data and the time on when it was removed was huge in the investigation. And that could be huge on proving the last time Nolan actually used his device versus people taking steps with it and walking around with it when it was out of his possession.
Okay. Number 1, you're brilliant. Number 2, regarding Snap being in one place, Life 360 being in another place, what can you tell me about that?
Think of each.
I guess you got to be Nancy Guthrie to get some data retrieved up in this motherfucker. I guess your ass got to be Nancy Guthrie. You can't be a little poor boy from Mississippi or black boy. You can't. You have to have Savannah Guthrie. You have to be related to Savannah Guthrie to get some data. Because I don't know how you got the data for the damn Nancy Guthrie case, but you can't get the data from Snippety Stat Chat.
Each application is having its own folder or a container. So all the things you do in that application exist in that container. A full deletion would be throwing that container away. So nothing's there. Sporadic deletion would be removing one thing at a time or deleting the most recent story or a post. And that stands out drastically to forensic examiners because it's uncommon behavior based upon what Nolan would typically do on his device.
Straight out to Sam Crouppen joining us, investigative journalist, star of Simpson's World. You have thoughts on the phone?
Yeah, Nancy, here's the thing. Everybody keeps saying that you keep your phone on the boat when you go into the water. We can all agree that makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is when his friends leave him, he's not going to get his phone to take with him. Who in their right mind would get stuck on an island without their phone? It makes zero sense to me at all. And then also the fact that all of his friends deleted all their social media.
I love me some Secret Sam, because he don't give a damn about color. He calls it like he calls it. It makes no damn sense. Why would that boy agree to stay on the damn island with no damn cell phone, no car keys? They didn't have hotels on that little bitty ass island. There was a family that sat up there and camped out overnight, and they ain't seen Nolan ass either. So you cannot tell me. If he did stay on the island, guys, maybe he was on somebody's boat. And if he was on somebody's boat, he might have been on Katie's daddy's boat. Little Daddy. The boat name was called Little Daddy. And maybe Katie, I'm speculating, guys, maybe Katie's daddy wasn't feeling the fact that Nolan was African American.
Accounts, they haven't spoken to anybody. As far as I know, they didn't even go to the funeral. It makes people believe that they are hiding something.
You're on cross-examination. Who is our next sponsor? Well, here is a probative clue. Meow.
Oh, hell. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Everything. Okay, listen to this.
He said, "Hey, Miss Christine, have you seen Nolan or talked to Nolan?" I said, "No."
That's his mama.
Thought he was with you.
God
guys.
bless her.
He's like, "No, nobody's talked to him. We left the island at, I think he said 3 p.m. and he wanted to stay because he was talking to a girl.
Come on now.
Named Katie. Katie is also missing. No one can find her." And the explanation of no one knows this Katie, like we've never met her type of deal.
How would they know Katie's missing if they didn't even know who Katie was?
There you go. There you go.
Katie's sister chimed in.
Go, girl. Break it down.
At home because she was on another boat and with different people. Katie assumed the friends telling him to get on the boat wouldn't have left him. So the question is,
break it down.
Where was Nolan after the interaction of Katie? Did Katie see him get on that boat?
From our friends at NBC and the real TikTok detective there at the inn who said it so eloquently, more questions spinning out because of the phone.
Y'all didn't even know Katie. You didn't even know Katie. But somehow you knew Katie was missing. Okay? You trying to push this shit off on Katie. That's what's going on right here. You trying to push the shit off on Katie. Guys, the phone line is open. Guys, please make sure to go ahead, like, comment, share, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Guys, the number is 682-812-9713.
Why was it on the boat? Why did he let the boat leave without it? And speaking of the boat, listen to this.
So first, at 9:56 a.m.,
it's the timeline.
The boat leaves the original dock. It arrives at Horn Island at 11:14. So at around 4 o'clock, there is a call to the Coast Guard about the boat. NBC News got a hold of it.
We're sinking. Can y'all please come?
Ain't everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Everybody's on board.
There you go.
So does that mean Nolan is on there? Who was on?
You got caught up in that phone call. You said everybody was on board. You should have said, if Nolan was on board, you should have said everybody is on board except for one. But you didn't say that shit.
On that boat.
Okay, there are innocent explanations for that, and there are nefarious explanations for that. But I do know this. They stated the boat was sinking.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
At 4:31, the boat leaves Horn Island, and it is towed approximately 3 miles. And then the tow ends. So after 3 miles, they go back to the original dock, okay? They arrive at 5:44 p.m. So it looks like this is where Horn Island is, and this is where the original dock is that I am referring to. I looked it up, and El Camino Real Road is in Gulf Hills, Mississippi, which is right above Ocean Springs. So I'm wondering if this is the house where they got the phone. The boat travels to Fort Bayou. At 6:06, the boat returns to the original dock.
Oh, shit.
Then,
Hold up.
the original
Hold the
dock,
hell up.
the boat goes back
Hold
to
the
Fort
hell up.
Bayou.
Why do they keep saying original dock? Original dock to me means where they originally took off from. Why she done sat up here and said original dock about 3 damn times. Now those you guys in the boat, and I don't know why they keep saying original dock, and you done said original dock 3 damn times, and it's not the original place that they started off from. This shit weird.
And then they go to the boat launch, and it is put onto the trailer and moved by the vehicle. Did they drop people off at the original dock?
There we go.
Travel to Fort Bayou, pick somebody up, and go back to that original dock. And then from there, why was there an hour and 13-minute time gap?
Okay.
This boat was sinking hours before, and then they're just...
For them, they said the boat was sinking. We ain't got no proof that that damn boat was sinking.
having it docked for an hour and 13 minutes, you would think they'd want to get that boat out of the water ASAP.
Exactly. Playing games. Playing games.
And she's got a point. Does nobody have a problem with that? The boat
There
is
you go.
sinking.
That's what y'all say.
Call for help, and then they take the boat around for hours that night. Okay, Mobley.
There you go.
You don't have a problem with that?
Playing games.
I would want to know the nature of the malfunction of the boat and whether or not it was repaired. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Explain, please.
I mean, it's not complicated. I mean, what it comes down to is what was the nature of the complication of the boat and was it repaired? And if it was repaired properly, then I don't see any issue with it. And I want to be clear, those are legitimate questions, but again, as I alluded to earlier, when you start taking bits and pieces,
They sat up there, them boys sat up there and said that the boat was taking on water. The boat is taking on water. Y'all in the middle of nowhere and the boat is taking on water and you keep going in, going out, original dock back. Come on now. That is not safe. If the boat was taking off water, the average person get their ass off that boat, but that ain't what y'all did. And I believe that ain't what y'all did because that ain't what the fuck happened.
of the puzzle, when you start putting them out there without context, that's when you start spreading disinformation. I would assume.
Well, you're right. But I certainly do not believe that this investigation needs to be shut down because there are potential innocent explanations. You don't just end an investigation because it could all be explained away. And I'm not saying
there you go, Nancy.
friend
Break it down. Break it down,
no,
Nancy.
Not responsible because I don't know. Is it true, Crouppen, that many of the people there that day have lawyered up and they're not talking? Is
there
that
you
true?
go.
Or have
Let me tell you something. This is what done fucked up this whole case. This is what done fucked it up. Because people got everybody looking at everybody sideways. I don't know, and I love him to death, and I said it earlier, I do not know for the life of me why Ben Crump sat up there and read off that autopsy. He shouldn't have done it. He is not a motherfucking medical doctor. He's a civil rights attorney. Why is he reading off medical documents? Okay, they should have saved that conference to later on when the damn medical doctor was available because that shit he said was not very convincing. Okay, it sounds like, according to what he said, it sounds like there's a great possibility that Nolan could have tripped. But the whole thing is very peculiar. Why was he not sent from Mississippi, the coroner in Mississippi? Why was he not sent to Washington, D.C. without his throat bones? See, that shit don't make no sense.
they, unbeknownst to me, have they cooperated and spoken to authorities?
I mean, from what we've seen, that was what happened. They all deleted their social media accounts right away. They lawyered up. So it seems as though they've been advised. And here's a big question for me, Nancy. Was the company that allegedly got the call that they were in distress, and their official statement was before assistance was rendered, the vessel owner advised that sea tow was no longer needed because help had already been obtained. Sea tow's involvement concluded at that point.
SEATOW, everybody, is two words, SEATOW. They come
What that is,
under
what it is.
and haul in, tug in boats, ships that need help. Okay, hold on. Heather Barnhart with me, digital forensics expert, author, co-author of Practical Mobile Forensics 4th edition. What about GPS? What can I learn from the GPS on that boat? Because I want to know.
If his phone is on the boat, it is tracking every location that the boat went to. I would also be curious on the last time the phone was unlocked, the last steps, even if it's not unlocked, last steps will be tracked, and last general usage. Because we may be able to say the last time that Nolan was on his device and physically using it, which would be really helpful in this investigation.
And why did it take the act of Congress to get the damn phone back from the boys? I don't understand it. And to get the damn car keys back. Why did the friends act like they want to hold on to that shit? Especially them damn car keys. The car keys was found inside of a house where the boys was. On top of a damn Xbox. And they act like they didn't want to get a daddy the damn car keys. Even though Nolan Wells' car was out in the motherfucking driveway.
Straight out to Brian Trasher joining us, Vice President, United Cajun Navy, who participated in the search for Nolan.
God bless him. God bless him.
GPS on boats, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, they operate just like any other kind of GPS. They get fed from satellites, and they keep archives of logs and trips and things like that. A couple of things I want to point out there, Nancy, because I'm probably the only person on the panel that's been to Horn Island. You know, they said, going back to the phone and possible deleted messages and all that, when his mother first said she thought that messages had been deleted, she later clarified that when she was talking about it, she thought it was odd that Nolan had not done any Snapchats, which was his favorite app, presumably. So the reason why he didn't do any Snapchats is because he didn't have a signal. It's very hard to get a cell phone signal on Horn Island, and Snapchat doesn't upload if you don't have a signal. You know, what I told him was to check his camera roll. If he wasn't able to upload on his app, maybe he just took pictures with his regular camera and saved it to his camera roll, see if there's any pictures on there. But there's no evidence to suggest that anybody went in and deleted any text messages or anything like that.
That snippety chat, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that is going to provide a lot of information about what happened to Nolan. That's going to provide a lot of damn information.
That day. So I just want to, we've been fighting so much information out there, just don't want to help spread it by not addressing that.
Brian Trasher, you and I go back a long way with your involvement with United Cajun Navy. I only have one question for you. Are you a digital forensics expert?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No further questions. Thank you. Brian Trasher, let me talk about something.
Nancy could be rude and a motherfucker. Now that was rude, Nancy. You need to go ahead and apologize to that man. Guys, the Cajun Navy, they did works and wonders. They do a lot of useful and helpful things for people. Nancy, that was disrespectful like a motherfucker.
Thing that you do know about, which includes boat GPS. What exactly, last time for tonight, what exactly was seen when Nolan's body was found? Every detail.
Okay, so the body was right at the...
Thank you so much, Thomas Franklin. Thank you so much. Oh, guys, we got a caller. We got a caller, guys. Let's see what the caller gonna say. Hi, caller. Hey, caller, how are you? Who this is?
This is E-Nice.
What's going on, E-Nice? What's going on?
Hey, man, I just wanted to hear your voice. So.
Okay, what's going on?
Anything new? Well, I heard a little bit of it, but did we get up the what's that? Biloxi Foot Bayou yet?
Oh, I'm about to show some video footage. If you hold on, baby, I'm about to show some video footage of all of that. Okay, then maybe you can give me a call back.
Okay, no doubt. Did you see the video of the girl?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I got it.
I gotta do my grass real quick. Don't do that. Come right
back. All right, don't hurt yourself out there.
Of course not. It says yard work. Man work.
All right.
Shoreline, right where the water meets the sand. He was laying face down. And like I said earlier, the swim trunks that were described and photographed, that he was photographed in the day he died, the day he presumably died, where he was still wearing, did not appear to be wearing shoes or a shirt. And yeah, face down, and there were law enforcement kind of standing all around him, just...
Now, I want to stop this right here. Now, he just said he had some swim shorts on. That's what he just said. But then everybody else was saying there was a great possibility that Nolan Wells was fully dressed. So we got some contradicting going on here. Some shit is not adding up.
Like whatever they were doing their jobs, I'm sure, but that is what I saw from the air.
I'm looking at his, let's see, he's face down. His left foot is on top of what looks to be some kelp that has washed ashore. He looks almost as if
Nancy
he's
able to see him. We can't see him, guys.
He is face down. He's wearing, at first it appeared to be a shirt. He's not wearing a shirt upon zooming in on it. He's barefoot. I don't see anything on.
People are sitting up there saying that he was fully clothed, and you can hear what the Cajun Navy said. And you can hear what Nancy Grace is saying. And she's able to see him. We can't see him, and I don't want to see him, tell you the truth. And it sounded like he was not fully clothed.
His wrist or arm, such as, a watch, I don't see that. It looks to me like he's sleeping on his stomach with his right leg a little bent outward and his left leg outward as well, like he's asleep on a mattress. His left arm is out and down like he's a stomach sleeper, and it looks to me like his head is turned to one way.
Oh my God. Guys, we're talking about a baby. 18 years old. Whether it was an accident or not, we need some answers. We need some answers. I'm not sitting up here saying there's a great possibility that it was an accident. I'm not saying that. Okay? What I am saying that we need to get down to the bottom of it. The shit that's peculiar up in this camp is why did the boys get back to the mainland and start deleting their social media? They didn't report the boy missing till 11 o'clock that night. They said they hadn't seen him since about 3. You said you left the island roughly about 4:30. Why didn't you report him missing then? That's the shit that's peculiar.
Now, given that position, I see no way that blood could have pooled in the back of his neck. He is absolutely face down. But that is another argument for
there you go.
Dr. Kendall.
Break it down, Nancy. Break it down.
Another night. This is what we know tonight. What we are learning from the second and independent autopsy is we know nothing. But Crump did hit the nail on the head as it relates to this. The critical moment is when and how Nolan Wells entered the water.
There you go.
At the time of this report, this forensic...
See, this shit right here I disagree with. Where the fuck was the doctor? Where was the doctor? This ain't... Guys, Ben Crump... Y'all getting my blood sugar all elevated. Ben Crump is not a damn physician. He shouldn't have been up there reading shit. He should have waited for the damn doctor. And then after he would have waited for... Hey, guys! Okay. We got Kaylani up in here. 3469. Appreciate you being up in anyway. Guys, I did not like when he was just reading that shit. We should have waited for the doctor because there was a lot of questions people had that Ben Crump wasn't able to answer because he is not a physician.
Pathologist does not know the condition of Nolan Wells. He did not know whether he was conscious or unconscious when he entered the water. He said that would be significant. He said he did not know whether he was forced into the water or unforced into the water.
Guys, let's look at... I'm going to highlight it. Kaylani sat up here and said that Nolan's mother says that she... We in the chat, guys. Look at the damn chat. Nolan's mother says that she has evidence and photos of Nolan being alive and walking the beach on Horn Island after the friends left. Oh shit, guys. If that's the case, could this be an accident? Or did somebody else do it? Because remember, Katie and her damn daddy and uncles were still on the island on that little daddy boat.
He said that would be significant. So he said the condition of Nolan Wells before he entered the water would be the crux of the matter. It would be of utmost importance to being able to determine a cause and manner of death.
How did Nolan Wells end up in the water?
That's crazy.
How is there so much confusion about who was with him last? Why can't I identify how everybody in that crowded area on Horn Island left, and what, left him there standing, waving his arms, don't leave? It's not making sense, and we are not
It don't make no
until
sense.
it does make sense.
Listen. He had a deep love for the Lord
So
and
sad.
an unwavering
So
faith
sad.
that was evident in the way he lived his life. As much as our hearts are broken, we find peace in knowing that our son is resting in the arms of the Lord.
This is Fort Bayou. Okay?
Okay, E-Nice, if you're in the house, this is what you want to see. This is what, guys, we're just looking at what's going on because, guys, remember, they keep on saying original doc. And this one lady is kind of demonstrating, guys, she got this second hand. But anyway, we're getting an idea of the terrain, the damn, I don't know if do you call it terrain? We're talking about grass and water. I don't know what you call it. But anyway, where the boat might have gone.
So I'm going to play the video. And I'm going to tell you what we're looking at. You see the houses over there? See, it ain't no walking over there, is it?
Ain't no walking over there.
Anybody boat really gonna slice through all the
Hell no.
or whatever you want to call this?
No, ma'am.
Pretty foxtail looking flowers and stuff like that. So you see how far the houses are from the water. Okay? So let's get into it. All right.
Okay, nice.
73 minutes. Just keep that in mind. All right. So this is Fort Bayou, 12 to 15 feet deep, 13 miles wide, just as wide as about Horn Island from end to end. You see, this just water. This just water. 12 to 15 feet deep of water. These are piers. This was Gulf Coast retirement. They were showing this to people. Because a lot of people must move down to Mississippi who like to fish. You see how far the houses are from the water, and you see all of the marsh before you get there, which is see the piers. See the piers? These are docks. So if I got a boat, I can just pull right on up here, anchor it. You see the ladder? 12 to how many? 12 to 25 feet deep. You see, that's another private dock. See, this is what they pulled up to. Not necessarily in Fort Bayou, but there is a neighborhood called Fort Bayou Estates, which is where I think they may have been. But they were in some park estates.
But guys, at least you get an idea of the kind of water and grass and all that shit they was dealing with out there. And if you are telling me that the damn boat is sinking, why do you continue on? I don't get it. Why don't you just stay at the damn dock, rope that motherfucker off, and then wait for somebody to come and repair it? Unless your ass was lying.
Fort Bayou Estate. See the people's boats? Did you see their boats? See their watercraft over there? So I can have multiple boats. Look at this. So my boat broke down. I'm scared to death.
Oh, hell no.
I towed 2.5 miles. And right before it get dark, because it got dark at 8 o'clock, I checked. Unless it was 9 o'clock here, 8 o'clock here. And
guys, you're going to hear a voice in the background. I can't delete that shit, but just bear with me.
Here we are. This is one of the trails in Fort Bayou, what young people call a duck-off spot. So I can pull my boat up to here and just get access to the mainland. So I can tell my mom, hey, mom, we finna go down to...
E-Nice. Okay, at night or the daytime, this ain't no motherfucking place I want to be. I'm just going to throw that out there. Guys, this ain't my idea of some motherfucking fun on 4th of July weekend.
The store, and we just going to put our little boat right here, drop anchor or whatever, and we just going to hop on land and walk to the store about a mile from the water. Just how far back you see those houses.
Guys, I'm sorry about the background noise. I can't delete it, guys. Please work with me.
Sure, they're allowed to
if you go back a little further, it's the mainland. Listen to what Sean Outdoors.
Sean Outdoors, there you go. Sean Outdoors, guys. Looking shit up.
Back towards the little learning center area. I'm not going to get off in here. You come this way, be very mindful where you're at. Water moccasins and alligator.
I'm not about to be my ass out there. Not going to do it.
We go back up here and take a look.
You right, E-Nice. When you go out to places like this, you got to be strapped. You gotta be strapped. Then guys, you got all kind of alligators and shit out there too. Hell to the no.
This other trail, see what it takes us to. So I went down the other trail, and there's nothing down there but a little, what I call a fishing hole spot, just a place that ends right there in the water. But yeah, kind of interesting setup out here.
That shit ain't interesting to me. Shit.
In the heart of, I guess you say the heart of Ocean Springs. But seeing some of the remnants, such as a fence post and then pieces of metal on the ground, I'm really more intrigued now about the history of this property. You can see it there. Yeah, it almost looks like a bench, and there's a water spigot right there. One of the remnants of whatever used to be here back in the day.
Okay, I want to stop. I want to stop right here, guys. Well, maybe I don't need to stop.
Sure what used to be here.
Look, hold on. I do want to stop. Let's go back just a little bit. I want to go back just a little bit, guys. Just a little bit.
Tell
Let's see.
my mom, hey mom, we finna go down to the
Hold on,
store.
guys. I want to show you something. Hold on. Work with me, guys. Work with me.
We just gonna hop on land and walk to the store about a mile from the water. Just how far back you see.
Work with me, guys. Work with me. Hold on one
Go back
second.
a little further. It's the mainland. Listen to what Sean Outdoors.
Hold on, guys. Work with me. I'm gonna stop the video in 1 second. Just work with me, guys.
Back towards the little learning center area. I'm not going to get off in here. You come this way. Be very mindful where you're at.
I ain't about to be out there. Sorry, won't be able to do that, guys. Won't be able to do it. Hold on, cause I want to show y'all something.
Here and take a look at this other trail. See what it takes us to. So I went down the other trail, and there's nothing down there but a little, what I call a fishing hole spot, just a place that ends right there in the water.
Work with me, guys. Hold on 1 second. We about to get to it.
Yeah, kind of interesting setup out here.
Ain't shit interesting out there.
Right here in the heart of, I guess you say the heart of Ocean Springs. But seeing some of the remnants.
Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Piece of metal on the ground. I'm really more intrigued now about the history of this property.
I ain't intrigued. It's some bullshit.
You can see it there. Yeah, it almost looks like a bench, and there's a water spigot right there. One of the remnants of whatever used to be here back in the day.
There we go. This is what I want to show y'all. People are coming out here. What? Why is this a big damn tourist attraction? Do you see it's like a piece of paper taped to a piece of glass or whatever, like a bulletin board? People are coming out there all the motherfucking time. I guess the kids go out there and smoke their marijuana, whatever the case may be. People are coming out there. I for the life of me, I do not know why. And guys, when this lady finished talking, it seemed like she's trying to allude to a fact. It was a great possibility that Nolan and his friends was out here at one point.
I'm not sure, like I said before.
And maybe if they did unalive him, maybe this is where they unalived him at.
I'm not sure what used to be here. I want to say it was a homestead or a couple homes back in here. I really don't remember. I remember coming past the area growing up and as a teenager. That's just my memory. It's not serving me very well of what this used to be. But now, it's a nature trail. I'm back to some condos.
Okay, guys, don't take this personal. But this here is some white people shit. This here is some white people shit. We, black people, we're not living up in the woods. We not about to live up in the woods. Okay, now, black people, we can sit up here and we like a little space between our houses, but we still want to see our neighbors. This shit here, this is Mosquito Village. We're not trying to walk and live out here, guys. That's just not the type of shit that we do.
So I'm going to head back the way we came. You can see something here, Young Boardwalk. And there's a...
Exactly, nice. That's a new damn sign out there. Okay, I'm sure it rains out there. That little piece of paper would have got wet by now. So people are out there for what fucking reason? I don't know, but people are out there. But when she finished with her presentation, I think she's trying to allude to the fact that there's a great possibility Nolan and his friends was out there in this particular area.
Little classroom set up on the other end of this trail. We'll go see what that's all about. And there might be another pier out there. We're going to go find out really quickly. Okay, so that's the way we came in from originally. And we're going to go down this trail here. Supposedly there is a classroom of some sorts, or...
A classroom? What the fuck? You don't need a classroom way the fuck out there.
We're going to head on down this way and see what's down this way. Here's something pretty cool right here in this little...
That's another inlet. See, there's a bench.
See that?
Who the fuck trying to sit out there? That's some bullshit, guys. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Granny ain't gonna be able to do that, guys.
So I sat there for a few minutes. See a bunch of fish jumping, some birds flying by.
See how wooded it is?
Look at that mushroom out there. That mushroom, it might be hard to tell. That thing is about the size of the palm of my hand.
Oh, what the fuck? You gonna eat it? You gonna make a sandwich?
And that looks like a little fence post of some sorts. Huh. Still more remnants of
all the places in the world. All the places in the world. To spend the 4th of July, that's where your ass want to go. That's where I know we talking about some kids, but that's where your ass want to go in the middle of fucking nowhere. All the goddamn mosquitoes, and you the only black person there. You the only black person there because your other friends is white that you was on the boat with. So if they talked your ass to going over here, and I'm not saying that's what happened, guys, but if they talk your ass to going over there, something must be wrong with you. There's no way in hell I would have got off that motherfucking boat. First of all, Granny wouldn't have been on the boat in the get-go.
And there's another one. That's one of the remnants of what used to be out here. I believe this area here is a classroom area.
Now look at this.
Some benches.
Who on a whole class out there?
It talks about the area and how it became.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? E-Nice, that's new posting. People are out there all the time. For what the fuck reason? I have no idea. But people are always out there all the damn time.
Pussy.
But it's secluded.
Kind of talks about the area and what's out here.
That's some new shit. That would have got wet by now.
Say what this property was. In fact, there's another fence post right there. That's interesting. Well, you can see it. Piece of rebar sticking out of the ground. And that one's squared off.
No civilization nowhere to be found. Hell to the no.
That's more remnants of what used to be out here. The ground looks to be concrete here. Now this concrete and these benches and those fence posts are well over a year old. So I wonder if this was another type of trail or a private setup or something. I'm not sure. Things just aren't adding up here. Like I said, I don't know the history. I know there was something out here back in the day.
Okay. So,
this shit is weird.
I hear him say that things weren't adding up when he showed you where the benches were, and then he showed the rebar in the ground.
We heard him.
And then he showed one that was an anchor in the ground, but it was squared off, which meant it was modern. Why would there be places to tie something up to out here?
There you go.
In an area like this.
So, guys, I'm not really sure what she's trying to allude to. I think she's trying to allude to something was tied down there. Now, I don't know if she's trying to say it was Nolan, whatever the case may be, but I think that's what she's trying to allude to. This is crazy.
He said it himself. It's not adding up.
It ain't adding up.
Because
it's some bullshit. I wouldn't be out there.
Or what used to be. What used to be is grown over. Right? The bench that was way in the bushes, nobody uses that technically. He said it was a water spigot over there. You could see it. Right? But this is not old. This is new. This video is maybe 2 years old. Right? Maybe. And here's a meetup spot. Here's a sit down.
Meetup spot. Meetup shit. That don't look like no Starbucks to me. I cannot be at that type of meetup spot. Guys, I ain't trying to get racial on you. I ain't trying to get racial on you. But this ain't shit that black people do. We don't do this kind of shit meeting in the woods in the middle of the night, whatever the case may be. This ain't, guys, this ain't what we do.
Spot. And there's a modern anchor in the ground. And right in the center, where everybody could see, if you notice, there were no leaves. So it's like I could sit something there. Maybe if we want to roast marshmallows.
Somebody been out there.
So I can put a fire pit here. And I can get wood from the surrounding area. And I can start a fire. And we can sit around and tell ghost stories and roast marshmallows.
Ghosts? Oh,
why
fuck
would
no.
I need a modern
oh, fuck no. We can't go out there.
And I think the audience may want to know, you may want to know that sometimes it is the prerogative of the primary pathologist.
So this is another coroner. She does a lot of autopsies and she's going to speak on it on the Brian Ennis YouTube channel. Love his channel, guys. Let's check this shit out.
First autopsy doctor to keep sort of key parts. We always save tiny pieces, like we say dime size or nickel size pieces of tissue to look under the microscope if necessary.
Dime size? She kept his whole motherfucking throat. Talking about a dime size.
But sometimes you may want to keep larger structures for more analysis. Commonly, this is the brain, the heart, sometimes the neck structures as well. So it doesn't surprise
I'm glad
me
you cleared that up.
Nolan was decomposed, so I don't know if that plays into their analysis. Like they need to take a more, detailed look at it, and that may take more time, and it's their prerogative to keep it. You are always a little bit, I don't want to say handicapped, but it's challenging because the second autopsy, everything has been manipulated through the first exam, right? Nothing's in place. You have to sort of figure out what's there, what's not, and everything has been dissected. So it's not.
So the coroner, the lady did the autopsy for Mississippi, guys. They said every time it comes to dealing with a case that deal with an African American guy, she never sides with the African American victim. They said her shit is very suspicious, so they looking at her ass real sideways. God bless him. That Carpenter, what's his name? Callan Kaepernick, whatever his name is. I can't say the damn name. Anyway, the football player. Evidently, he paid for another autopsy. That's what's going on right now. God bless. Because they said the autopsy guys, that shit costs a lot of damn money. That's what they said.
Like looking at the heart in place, looking at the lungs in place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I want to ask you, there was this one, and I went through the report, there's a lot of talk about something with the back of the neck, and what the report says is dissection of the back of the head during the layered posterior neck dissection revealed a 12 by 8 inch, forgive me if I'm pronouncing some of these things wrong, facial area.
Guys, let's get these damn lights up. It only take a second to push the damn like button. Let's get the lights up, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. Guys, my contact information is right below here, guys. You want to get on the mic, you can get on the mic, 682-812-9713. This case is peculiar.
Red discoloration in the deep soft tissues overlying the occipital bone. The etiology of this finding is unclear. There are no lacerations of the overlying skin nor fractures of the underlying skull. What is that? Is it back in this area?
That's some bullshit. That's what it is.
Sort of like, I don't know if I can do this, but I have a lot of hair, but it's basically sort of the back lower part of the skull, the occipital bone or the occipital region, sort of like where your head meets the pillow, if not a little lower. Okay, and it's a very nondescript large area. That's what he measured. And it is difficult to interpret what that means because at least there's no other injury surrounding it, is what he's saying. Like, you look at the skull, you look at the skin, and you're like, well, is this a true injury? Or is it an artifact? Now, artifacts can be derived from either the sort of blood sort of pooling after the first exam.
See, this is the reason, and I said it earlier. I gotta take a swig of water, but this is the reason why Ben Crump didn't need to be out there interpreting some shit he don't know shit about. They should have had the physician there. The physician be able to answer all these damn questions. Okay, it's been days since Crump sat up there and he said he verbatim what that damn report said, but we still need to hear from that motherfucking doctor. That's what we need.
After the first autopsy exam, or is it an artifact of how the body was situated due to decomposition? Right, there is significant changes in the tissue structure and the fluid shifts with decomposition. So I also don't know what to make of that. I read the report myself because it's in a peculiar region, and luckily, at least, even if it was an injury, it's not enough to like cause a skull fracture underneath it, right?
That's
it's
interesting.
A hard blow. It's
that's
not
interesting.
Enough to have force on the skull.
I was never around Nolan's parents a lot, but I mean that didn't change our relationship.
So this is an interview. Everybody be talking about this damn interview. This is a juicy ass interview, and I really don't like watching this YouTube channel. This officer Tatum, he's a nutcase. But guys, we got to watch this interview because this is allegedly one of Nolan's friends. Even though the parents say they ain't never really interacted with this motherfucker, he is claiming to be a good friend of Nolan's.
Nolan and I were still just as close, and he was just as close with my friends as anyone else. So,
and walk me through the day of 4th of July where you guys were all going out.
Right.
This seems like something that I would assume that may have occurred more than just this year.
Yeah, of
Was
course.
it something that you guys did more than just this year? This is a two-part question. I want to know, is it something that you guys typically did together? Did you hang out often in this fashion? And then I want you to then walk me through 4th of July this year when the incident happened.
Okay. Being from the Gulf Coast, there's a boating and fishing is very, very popular. The 4th of July, every year, my friends and I, or my family and I, are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or people go to ship.
I don't know why ain't shit out there.
Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and
guys, we got a call. Hold on one second. We got a call, guys. Let's just put this on speaker here. Caller, can I help you?
What's going on, Miss Kelly?
Hey, E-Nice, what you got to say? Now, you saw the video footage of the girl in the damn woods. Is she trying to say the possibility something was strapped down out there? I couldn't understand what the fuck she was talking about. What's she trying to say?
You know what she trying to say. That's why I say,
break it down for me. What was she trying to say?
That looked like a worshiping spot.
Oh, like a sacrifice.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, you can't jump back in the water because, like, where you going after you jump in the water? Now, I don't know about the pipe, the bruising in the back of his head, but that could be a butt of a gun, like a butt of a rifle or a shotgun, in my mind.
Interesting.
To me, I think he still have more defensive wounds because, we gonna fight. We gonna fight. So, I don't know. With this guy, I wanted to talk to you because he was on. He says, my friends. He went to he says my group or something like. He never puts a Nolan in his circle. If you listen to the white guy talk, the black guy said, "Oh, y'all keep blaming them boys. He keep defending them boys, but he don't hear it from no other boy but the boy he talking to." You know
well, yeah, like he's not really including Nolan as being one of his friends. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. If you listen to how he talk, he said, "Oh, we went to what's face house, but we went with my friends or whatever." He says it a couple of times in there. That's the only reason I don't listen to it this morning. I said, yeah, he do say my friends or this is the group I be with because we be with it every time. So if you're there every time, then Nolan was in your group. Well, we really never went to Nolan's house. He just came over. No, I don't think Nolan has the boat. Nolan doesn't have as much money as these guys probably. So
that's what I'm thinking because you know the Nolan Wells, the mom and daddy got 6 kids, so I'm sure that even the daddy said they couldn't afford a boat. He had to wait for the coach.
Yes.
To bring him around to find out where his son was.
I remember telling you like when they get on a boat and they start saying my boat, my stuff, my. They start saying, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay then.
He can't beat nobody by himself. Like you can look at that man and he's soft as candy. Cotton.
So tell me this, and I've been saying that. Do you believe that Ben, in your personal opinion? Oh my God, the kids having too much fun in the background. Do you believe? Oh Lord, we gonna have to do this another time.
Don't worry about it.
Do you believe that Ben Crump should have sat up there and read that report? I don't think it was as effective if the doctor would have done it.
Yeah, experts supposed to do that. When police do they, but of course, or something like that, you talk to a person who handles the situation, not somebody who passed down the situation too.
Yeah, exactly.
It should have been Skyped or something because I think he was in DC. But
exactly. Okay, yeah, okay, but it's been several days since that report came out. He ain't said shit yet, not to my knowledge.
And then I ain't gonna get his body parts up that I know of. They giving it straight to the grand jury or something. So right there, I say y'all not on my team. Y'all not playing together.
Exactly. Okay, then. Well, thank you so much for calling.
No doubt. Let me get these kids out your head.
All right, you get out my wig. All right, you have a good day.
All right.
All right, guys. Let's check out the video.
I mean, this is a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends like to fish also, and like to go on the boat. Not just fishing, but like to go on the boat, like to go on sunset cruises, like to do it all, on the water, And I mean, Nolan loved to do that too. I mean, he's not like he was just like everyone else in our friend group. He loved to go on the water and have a good time with guys, and that's what we did a lot. But
okay, guys, we got another phone call, guys. It's getting hot up in here today. Let's see what's going on. Caller, how are you? This is Kelly from Why Killed You TV. You're gonna have to turn the TV down, baby.
Okay. You there?
I'm there. How you doing today? You on the granny cam? Who's calling? She hung up. Okay, maybe she gonna call back, guy. We gonna wait. I don't know what the hell happened. I swear, oh God, I ain't push no button. Call back, caller, please.
Everybody was out there. Like I said, like Nolan was always trying to go on the boat, trying to go out there with us, and he was always welcome to come. Nolan was always out there with us, and but started 4th of July. My buddies and I had talked about this week's upcoming. Everybody's very, very excited for 4th of July from down here. Like it's a big thing.
It's a big deal.
Very, very big deal. And I mean, I actually
Use the community phone to filter robocalls. Please press 1 to confirm.
I was trying to call her back, guys. She ain't answer.
And we went to McDonald's, got food. Nolan was not with me, and I went and got breakfast. I had my buddy's boat hooked up to my truck, and first I ran to my house, then I went to McDonald's and came back, and the boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddies, and we went, filled the top of the boat off.
You got a whole lot of buddies.
Then Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach, and I drove the boat from Fort Bayou Boat Launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all planned to meet up that day. And
you said we all, who you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people were going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we were all following each other out there as one big group. It wasn't just me, Nolan, and a couple other buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island.
So they said that Nolan, he would frequent this place with these guys quite often. However, the parents say they really ain't never met these guys. So this shit is weird.
It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
You know, did you guys do anything in between the time you rode and the time you get to the island?
So you know what, guys? They say it was 3 boats. 3 boats. I wonder out of all 3 of them boats, and guys, I'm just thinking out loud. How many black people besides Nolan was on the 3 boats? Now, we know on the 1 boat, it was only 1 black person. That was Nolan. But what about the other 2 boats?
Was the music, is it like a big party? Like, what is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously music's blasting. It's 4th of July, man. I mean, you know, everybody's really excited. And, I mean, we had a lot of people loaded down. So, obviously, our biggest, you know, we're just trying to make sure everybody, you know, gets out there safe. And so, I mean, on the way out there, it was pretty calm. I think it was blowing like 3 or 4 knots. I mean, the waters were clear. It was a great day to be on the water. Sunshine, not cloudy at all. And I mean, it was a great day to be out there on 4th of July. And when we got there, we tied up, got, you know, bow and rear anchor set, and we tied up all the boats, made sure they were good, and everyone just got out of the water. And then
welcome, our newest subscriber. So cool. Thank you so much for being up in here.
Eventually, next thing you know, it's our group. And then, you know, next thing you know, there's 50 other people around us. And then it just grew and grew as the day came on. And, you know, I mean, that's just how it was. Everybody's drinking, you know. I mean, it's 4th of July. Everyone's just trying to enjoy themselves. And, you know, it's a big party, basically. Big party.
So where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, you know, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of other buddies. In the group, I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. And I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, you know, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, you know, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. You know, we're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July. They go out, you know, every weekend. Like, I fished the islands. I don't just, you know, fish around Horn Island. I fish around Ship Island too. So I'm very.
And Nolan said something interesting. You told me about this. Something he said to you, I would say would be indicative of y'all's friendship. Right. And then he also mentioned something to you about that particular day and what it meant to him.
Right.
And could you share that?
Right. Yeah. So Nolan and my buddy Devon are talking, and you know, I grew up with Nolan, and Nolan's, you know, just all, like I said, like just so joyful, like always happy, like every picture.
How the fuck he gonna sit up here and say he grew up with Nolan and the parents really don't know shit about him? I don't understand that.
I have with Nolan, or a picture I have of Nolan, he's smiling. I mean, like, he's always happy. If I always need like a shed of light, I'm calling Nolan, you know. And Nolan and I laugh and joke a lot. Like, that's how our friend group is. We're really jokingly laugh. You know, no one takes anything that serious. You know, we enjoy our time together. You know, I mean, there's never any awkwardness with our friend group. We're very, very tight. So if I ever need to get something off my chest or talk to anybody, I'm talking to all my friends. I'm not just talking to like specifically anybody. I would go out, like, even if I'm having issues with something, I go talk to my group chat, and my guys are there, you know, give me a hand anytime I need it. And all my guys are, you know, all my buddies are the same exact way, you know. No one.
Okay, guys, I had asked this earlier. We're gonna do it again, because some other people done came up in the room. Some other people is up in the chitty chat. Guys, if you think this was an accident, type a 1 in the chat. If you think it was an accident, type 1 in the chat. If you think it was not an accident, that this was on purpose, type a 2 in the chat.
It was the same exact way. If you ever need something, I'm here, man. Like, that's how he was. So.
And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely.
Right.
And like, what? Explain that, because you guys got there around 10.
Yeah.
It's now 4:30.
Right.
People are still out there partying and they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Huge.
Yeah. So, I looked up. I had a girl come up to me and say, "Hey, your brother just got in a fight," and
would he hurry up and get to the point? Shit.
And that's what she was talking about. And
get to the point. Damn.
So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody. Put my drink down and walked over there. And my brother was kind of angry, and there was a lot going on, but someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, "Oh, I just got in a fight, and this guy punched me in the face, and I punched him right back." And then went to the ground. My brother put him in an armbar.
Was Nolan involved in any of this?
Absolutely not. When I was over there was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age, and I mean, Nolan. I never saw Nolan over there. Absolutely not. And but
Ooh, this little light skinned boy is long winded. Hurry up, get to the damn point.
Okay, sorry, I just lost off the
No.
Yeah, I'm losing it too. Hurry up, shit. My blood sugar is getting high. Fuck around with you.
Okay, yeah.
And this is
Well,
what
yeah, this
ended
led
up
up to that. That's what I was saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, or a little scuffle.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming that it was cleared up.
You're right.
So in the chat, E Nice said one of his good friends just passed away, and he's real calm. Who you talking about, E Nice? Are you talking about one of Nolan's friends? I don't get it.
Got your brother out of that situation, and then how did you find out that this boat is sinking?
Well, I walk back over, and like we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, I wasn't thinking anything about it. I told my brother, I pulled my brother off the beach, and I was just like, "Listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down." I mean, he was calm, but I didn't want anything else to happen, And so once I got back over the boat, I got on the Triton, and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom, and I was freaked out because I'm good friends with Wyatt, and that was his boat, and no water's coming out, no excess water's coming out, and it was a big issue because I think the reason was because there were so many people getting on and off the boat. At some point, the boat was very, very crowded, and there was just a lot of people on, so that drags water in, and eventually, I think over time we were out there for a couple hours. The boat just started filling up with water, so I paused.
All right, now y'all just heard what he said. The boat was filling up with water. You was leaving the island, and the boat was filling up with water. However, you kept going from dock to dock to dock. That's very peculiar. Why would you just not go to one dock and leave it there and get off the motherfucking boat? That is very peculiar. You said it yourself. I didn't say the shit. You said it. You said the boat was filling up with water. It was filling up with water. And so you continued on. First of all, why would you continue on driving that boat from different docks, and you knew the ship was filling up with water? That don't make no damn sense.
The starboard side hatch and the battery was completely underwater, and so the motor wouldn't trim down. I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it'd trim down, and then it'd come right back up. And so Wyatt's trying to throw a rear anchor, so we're caught, and he's yelling at people. Everybody's kind of freaking out, and eventually I'm like yelling at other people, trying to tell them, calm down, like the boat could possibly sink, and I'm not paying attention to everyone around.
The boat can possibly sink, but you still turn that motherfucker back on and went to several different docks, knowing that the boat can sink. Now that shit don't make no sense. Something ain't right.
I mean, I was paying attention to my buddy's boat, and that's what all my other friends that were on that boat were doing, trying to solve the problem.
So you're on the boat now. The water's getting up to the point where the boat may be disabled to where you couldn't get it out from Horn Island. So what happens after that?
Wyatt jumps to the water, tries to throw a rear anchor, and my buddy Meyer, he was sitting, looking, trying to pull trash out the bilge, and the bilge is basically a pump that pulls the water, the excess water out the boat. So the bilge was failing to work. So any excess water was just sitting in the boat. It wasn't getting pumped out. And I looked over the gunnel, and I looked at the release hole for the bilge, and it was even with the water. So, I mean, we're all freaking out. All of our, we're not focused on anything else other than the boat. Well, then, eventually, my buddy Bart on the tide line.
You ain't freaking out too much. You still staying on the boat even though you had got off at different docks. And you still got back on the boat, even though you was having, according to you, even though you was having all this type of problems. Guys, the granny cam is still open. You can go ahead and call me, guys, at 682-812-9713. Guys, let's get these damn lights up. Guys, I ain't believing half this shit this dude talk about.
It's like, I'm going to pull y'all out to where we're out of all this, all this chaos. Because we left at 4:30 and there were still just as many people there, if not more, than when we got there. I mean, probably around the same amount. I mean, it was crazy. Like, there was a lot of people. And, eventually, Bart pulls us out. We left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out, and we had the towing strap pulled from, Bart's port side cleat or starboard side cleat, and he was on our starboard side bow. And so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned around, pulled up next to our boat, and we were just trying to get it situated. So that's when Wyatt called Cito. And Wyatt was like, calls him, because the cell service isn't great at the island, but once you can use your phone, but stuff might not descend, and it's not great. You got maybe one bar, it won't work that well. But once you get a little off the island, you have cell coverage, and even on the island, I called my mom when we were on the island. It was fine. Like we had enough cell coverage to make a phone call or shoot a text over, but you're not.
So that makes this even more peculiar. You got on a sinking boat, and your cell phone would half-ass work out there. And you continue, after you got it to one dock, you continue to get back on the boat and go back out with the same old fucked up cell phone coverage. That shit is not making no sense.
You don't have enough cell coverage to send a picture, for example. So what?
So I want to go back.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I want to touch on that real quick because the phone thing came up at some point. And so was it when you guys got off the boat?
Yeah.
Were people taking their phones off the boat, or is that not typical? Because I know that Nolan's phone was left on the boat,
right?
Even though after you guys had left. So can you explain that? Because I think people need to understand this a little clearer.
Yeah.
Was it typical for people to have their phones left on boats, or did they keep their phones in the water?
Yeah. Everybody kind of goes out to the island to get away from, their phones and everything else. I know I go out on the boat to get away from, just the regular world. And no, when you're waist deep in the water, no one's carrying their phone.
Kaylani 3469 says he's describing the issue they ran into after they initially left where they were originally anchored at Horn Island. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But you knew you was having issues with the boat after you left Horn Island, and after that you still got on that same stupid ass boat. You knew it was having problems. You still got on the boat and went to different docks. See, that shit, you went to at least 2 to 3 more different docks with this raggedy ass boat. See, that shit is not adding up.
Especially at Horn Island, the water has been very, very murky because of the rain. And when it's just very risky. If you're gonna have your phone in the water, some people might for a couple minutes and maybe taking some pictures of each other. I know a lot of girls like to take pictures in the water at Horn Island. Guys do too. People like to take pictures, but a lot of the pictures you see are on the boat for a reason. And so,
well, what's the reason?
If someone is on their phone in the water, they're using it real quick and then putting it right back on the boat. We were all waist deep in water. No one's sitting there scrolling on their phone. I never saw that once, and I've never seen that once. And I've been out the island my whole life. That's just not something people do. People are on their phones, and everybody has their phone, yes, but it's always on the boat. No one's getting off of the boat with their phone. So
you guys get ready to leave out of there, getting towed out, and then where's Nolan in this situation?
Well, Nolan was. The last time I saw Nolan was 3 o'clock, and Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie.
Cradling, huh?
Katie. And Katie, Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, dude, you crazy. I was like just joking with him. And but anyway, Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they demanded to.
But it happened. It happened though, didn't it?
This is a very common thing at Horn Island.
So he gonna try to sit up here and act like that Nolan stayed behind for Katie. He sat up there and said that Nolan was cradling Katie in his arms. Okay, like there was great possibility that Nolan was gonna get some cootie cat from Katie. Where the hell you gonna get some cootie cat from? I mean, from what I understand, ain't no hotel, no shit like that. Unless, like I said, guys, I said this shit earlier, Katie's daddy had a boat. And biggest day, it said on the back of the boat, and everybody, there's some discrepancy on what the boat name was. It was either Little Daddy, Mac and Cheese, whatever the fuck the name of the boat was. Evidently, that boat belongs to Katie's daddy. And evidently, not only was Katie's daddy there, but the damn uncle. So there was a great possibility maybe the daddy was not feeling the fact that Nolan was black. The daddies and the uncles, maybe they wasn't feeling the fact that Nolan was black and Katie was white. So we're not really sure. But Katie, she sat up there and said that she knew, this is what she said, that Nolan got back on the boat with his friends. So the shit is not adding up.
When you're out there, a lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. It's a very common thing.
What's going on, Kiki? Guys, I talked to Kiki for over 30-40 minutes yesterday. Welcome, Kiki.
But Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues, and no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat.
The boat? Okay, check this shit out. The boat is having issues. Nolan, get on the boat. Fuck no. I'm not about to get on no boat. The boat is having, you just said it yourself. Before you left the island, the boat was having an issue. Why the fuck would he get on the boat? Why don't y'all call for help right then before you leave the island or get on somebody else's boat? That shit don't make no sense.
And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out.
So, Kehlani said that the boat was taking on water because there was too many people on the boat.
On the island. And like he said,
how many people heard that?
At least 5 everyone that was on our boat right there, because the Palm Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and went home on the Palm Beach, and 3 guys on the way back. And Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and in with somebody else. I mean, we had multiple people in our group that rode out with us and rode in on someone else's boat. And that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do,
That's some bullshit. I've said this in other videos, guys. It's hard for a black man to get a cab. So now you talking about a black man amongst a lot of white people. And he gonna need a ride back. He gonna stay behind and he gonna need a ride back. Guys, that's gonna be hard to do. Especially if he don't know nobody out there. That's gonna be, even if he do know somebody will say, oh no, I want your black ass on my boat. But don't tell me that Nolan voluntarily stayed behind. Please don't tell me that, because I don't believe that to save my life. I think he was either forced to stay behind, or something happened on that island where he did not get on the boat with you guys. Period. That's what I'm thinking that happened.
I mean, a lot of people do that. I could name probably 50 people out there that day that ran out with somebody and ran back in with somebody else. So, I mean, it's not like it's an uncommon thing, but it's not like we just left him there.
I don't believe that shit. Don't believe it.
He made a decision to stay on the island after my friends asked him multiple times and told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had text somebody that she heard people yelling
correct
for Nolan to get on. Is that true?
And I have a picture of that. She texted my buddy, and the next day everybody was panicking. Everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, you know, this is the last time I saw him, you know, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat. And she was right there.
Katie sat up there and said that her encounter with Nolan was high and by. That was it. High and by. I don't know if Nolan knew this girl before, whatever the case may be. But now he acting like they was all hooked up together. I'm not following that.
To see that Nolan decided not to.
Yeah, so you guys get in the boat, you start to get towed in, and you make it back. Now explain how did you get to the point where you were concerned about Nolan? Because obviously you said, hey Nolan, y'all need to, or somebody, not you, but you guys had mentioned Nolan need to get on a boat, and didn't. You guys get back to wherever you're going. Explain that. Did you guys go back to somebody's house, or you guys like what happened there, and then when did you feel like, well, wait a minute, where's Nolan?
Right. Okay. Well, running in was very chaotic. I mean, Nolan chose to sail on, so my focus wasn't on anything else other than the boat. You know, because if the boat doesn't get in, then no one gets in. You know, I don't want to stick out there on my buddy's boat, and no one does. But my buddy Wyatt jumped out and pulled the plug.
The shit ain't making no sense. The shit ain't making no sense. You getting on a damaged boat over 3 damn times. You've been on a dock where it was at land 3 times, and you still got your ass back on the boat that supposedly was sinking. The shit don't make any sense. And then you wasn't too concerned about Nolan's ass, because when you got back to land, from what I understand, y'all went out and ate. Y'all went out and ate, and then you had the nerve. You had the audacity. They didn't call the parents until 11 o'clock. Last time y'all saw Nolan was between 3 o'clock and I think 4:30. And you didn't call the mama until 11 o'clock at night. And then you had a nerve to sit up there and say, have you seen Nolan? No, bitch! I ain't seen Nolan. Last time I seen Nolan, he was with you.
On the boat, once we kind of got out there, because he got the motor to trim down, and the motor trimmed down, my buddy Wyatt pulled the plug, and we planed off. We moved all the way to the front of the boat so we could plane off, and eventually we planed off, and the boat was running. So when you're planed off and you have water in the boat and you're hauling, you know, we're going pretty fast. We're going probably 40.
LaTanya, thank you for being up in here, and I agree with you. They didn't give 2 shits about Nolan. They didn't give a fuck if he ever got back or not. They didn't give 2 shits about it. That's how I know something went down on that particular island. The whole thing in a nutshell. And I said this earlier before. I don't like how Ben Crump was reading off that autopsy, because the shit don't sound very convincing to me. It sounds like it could be an accident. But the whole thing in a nutshell, why are y'all keeping the man's throat? The shit is weird. Sound like y'all trying to hide something. And we already know that coroner from Mississippi is shady than a motherfucker.
42 miles an hour. And so all that excess water that was built up in the boat is coming out of the boat. So, I mean, that's what we had to do. So we ran into Fort Bayou, and we...
Okay, LaToya getting up here. LaToya, you fucking with my blood sugar, girl. Because you read my mind. Why in the fuck would y'all get on that damn boat knowing the shit was sinking? And one of you sat up there and said it with great possibility is too many motherfuckers on the boat. And guess what? Then some of y'all have to get on the other boat, because there was 3 boats that went out. Then guess what? Y'all shift the weight around. That's what y'all do, or don't get on the boats at all. Call for help before you left Horn Island. That's what your ass should have did. It don't make no sense you get on a sinking boat. It makes no sense that you get on a sinking boat. And from what I understand, guys, it was at least an hour till you got to the mainland. So you mean that you gonna get on a sinking boat and you gonna risk the great chance that y'all might sink in the middle of the fucking water? That makes no sense to me.
We didn't just run straight to my buddy's grandparents' house. We ran into Fort Bayou.
This motherfucker long-winded like a motherfucker.
And Wyatt, like, the whole reason for the stop was so Wyatt could hop in and put the plug back in the boat. So then after that, we went and docked it, and I went back to my buddy's house, and we ate. And, napped.
They eating this shit. You done took a nap. You ain't think about Nola's ass.
So we go over to, a girlfriend of mine. She was having people over 4th of July. We were doing like fireworks and stuff. So we all went over there to swim and, hang out. And
This infamous picture that I've seen online of Nolan in the water in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Where is this picture associated with? Because you said you guys went back to swim.
That's a different day. That's a different day.
Where's this picture at? Like, what is it? What's the context around the picture that's been floating?
That picture is taken on June 27th, a week before the 4th of July. We all went to a friend of ours in Pass Christian. We have a lot of friends from Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian.
Latoya, he ain't saying a motherfucking thing. He ain't saying a motherfucker, and I ain't seen a tear in the motherfucker eyes since he ain't been in this fucking interview. He ain't saying shit.
Yeah, we all went over there to hang out, and you know.
And Nolan was in that picture.
Nolan was in that picture, and if you look in the picture, my arm is around Nolan in that.
That was from a different day. Stay focused.
I mean, that was a week before the 4th of July.
There you go. He said it.
That
Move on.
Picture is not associated within even the same. I mean, that was like a week before. So, yeah.
So you guys are now at swimming and having a good time at a lady friend's house.
Right. I never got to the pool. I talked to her dad for a while, and I mean, all my friends were downstairs. I went upstairs, talked to her dad. We were talking about that.
Well, Latoya, they had been there for some hours. They had been there, but you right. They left early. Latoya said, "Why leave so early? If Horn Island was the place to be, it was jumping off. Y'all was partying. Why did y'all leave so early? I don't understand it." But they was there for about, I think they made it there about 11, and they stayed to about, 4:30. But you're right, that is a short time, especially for some kids. That's a short time. And I'm sure that there's somebody they could call that would have told that damn boat if that boat was having some problems.
And stuff, and you know, I've been with my friends all day. I was just talking to everybody, but
So you talked to the young lady's dad, and then how long was it before you realized, or you guys realized that, well, where's Nolan at?
I mean, I went back downstairs, and all my friends were just hanging out, and my buddy Wyatt had a dress, you know, talking about Nolan, and I was like, well, where is Nolan? Have y'all heard from him? And
y'all let that, and guys, I'm speculating, but y'all let all that time elapse because you was huddled together trying to get your motherfucking story together. That's what y'all was doing. You was huddled together trying to get your motherfucking story together. What you gonna tell the popo? And guys, I've said this in other videos, and even Ben Crump said it. And I'm gonna tell you this, guys, if the shoe was on the other foot, if Nolan Wells was white and these boys was black, we would have a fucking arrest by now. You can't tell me that wouldn't be the case.
he was like, no, we haven't. And I was like, okay, well, you know, it's a little concerning. Like, I mean, I'm not freaking out or anything, but like, I'm trying to find out where Nolan is. So I texted Javon, and I was like, hey, and also a couple other buddies that I had at the island. I was like, hey, have y'all seen Nolan? Did he ride in with y'all? And all the boys were like, no. Well, I texted Javon, and I was like, hey, can you send me Miss Christine's number? Because I hadn't heard from Nolan. And
so y'all supposed to be thicker than thieves, and you don't already have his mama phone number? Y'all supposed to be thick as thieves, and you don't have his mama phone number. Okay, fuck it. You ain't got the mama number, you ain't got the daddy number. He got 5 other brothers and sisters. You ain't got none of their damn phone number. But y'all tight. Y'all tight. You grew up with his ass, according to you, even though the parents say they don't really know who the fuck you is.
He hasn't heard from Nolan, and I'm calling the Coast Guard. And so eventually, Javon sends me her number.
Who is her? That's
Miss Christine.
Miss Christine
is Nolan's mom. Yeah. And I walked down to the dock, because, I mean, there was a lot of people there. It was not a lot, but, you know, there was probably 15 of our friends there. And I was just like, walked down to the dock with a couple of my buddies, and I got on the phone. I called Miss Christine, called her the first time. She didn't answer. I called her a second time, and I got on the phone with her, and I asked her if she had heard from Nolan. She said no. And I said, all right, well, don't freak out. I'm going to call the Coast Guard. And this was at about 11 o'clock.
So what's your intent in calling the Coast Guard?
Okay, So Cool is up in the camp. Welcome, So Cool. So Cool said why he got USA on his chest the week early. I'm not following what you're talking about. Elaborate on that for us, So Cool. 98-15? I'm not really following what you're talking about.
Right, because right now, Nolan could be with a chick. He could be with somebody else.
Right.
He could have gone back with somebody else. What made you concerned enough that you felt like you couldn't wait it out anymore? You had to call the Coast Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my friends and I have been on the water our whole life. Stuff happens. People die all the time. I know people that have died out there. And, you know, it's fun.
So if you knew this stuff happens, shit happens out there. You knew that. Why would you leave him out there? That don't make no sense at all.
Fun place to be, but it's also a very, very dangerous place to be if you're not handling it right. And
okay, so cool. Now I understand what you're talking about. I understand. Thank you for that clarification.
Nolan, so I had heard from him, and obviously I'm thinking I would way rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I would rather call the Coast Guard 100 times and lose my mind over it, and my buddy be okay, than, you know, not, and me not know where he is and him not be okay. And so I called the Coast Guard, and I talked to them on the phone for like 20 minutes.
Really?
Gave him a description, what Nolan was wearing, the last place we were at, the last time I saw him, who were we with, what boat we were on, the conditions of the water, just a summary. And I called Miss Christine back after, and I talked to her, and I said I got in contact with the Coast Guard. I'm not sure who she called or what she did, but I think she said she was going to make a couple phone calls.
This motherfucker talks slow. He really talks slow. Hurry up, shit. Get to the point.
I'm assuming you wake up the next day, and then what happens?
I wake up the next day at about 7:30, and my dad had texted me because obviously no one's.
Okay, guys, we gotta call her. We gotta call her. Caller, don't hang up that shit. The last caller hung up on me. Let's see what we got. Hey, caller, how are you doing? This is Kelly from YQG TV.
Hey, my girl, this is Kiki girl.
Hey, what's going on?
I want to put this together a little bit. So
you sound very far away.
You know what? Let me disconnect.
Beautiful. Go ahead, break it down.
So, you're asking about, them not staying out there too long. They said they were having a leak. And the thing about the billiage pump or whatever, what happens is with the boat sitting idle, basically it's just taking in water. And whenever it takes in water, they have to almost like move for the water to actually almost like flow back out of where it's basically building up in. So then they basically left. And this that's why I kind of understood about the billiage pump thing or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But when we talked yesterday, my question was, why would you think that anything was wrong with Nolan? And people say, why it took so long to call. Why would you actually call whenever you supposedly knew? You said that you left her with Katie. And if she was left with Katie, I mean, she can go get your little Hey, I wouldn't think anything wrong. But then you call the Coast Guard. To me, you knew something was wrong. For you to actually reach out to his mama, you knew something was wrong.
Exactly.
Like that right there. That's where I sit at. Like that right there's where I'm at. I'm like, because
he trying to cover it up. He trying to cover it up.
Right. And if I knew my friend was somewhere, my friend better be there. And if anything I hear later, and anybody come ask me I left he was with, and that right there's the last place that I knew of. And I'm going to spill everything that I knew, anything about the person that I knew who I left with, and anything. That ain't what you did. You actually ran over here to this old coon to basically played out your point after one of y'all mamas done jumped on what's calling. Oh, he left, and that right there what was so crazy. And like I said yesterday, I feel like this chess move that Crump is actually playing with Mississippi, and he's gonna show that this whole damn state, or how they work in this state, is actually very much shady. And it's not the only state, because why Ben Crump usually have to fall out into these states and here and there to to do something to help uncover these cases or bring justice to these cases, because there's shady stuff going on. You're not treating it like it was your child. You're not in these states. Y'all not treating it like it's your child. And whenever, and like he said, the only thing he's asking, or the only thing we're asking, is for it to be done the same way that you would do it on whenever it's if the roles was reversed.
True that.
Everybody be done with the jail.
Exactly.
Everybody be done, got locked up, baby, and waiting for somebody to spit beans. Because that's how it's supposed to go. And a judge will be the last person to just jump out there and start basically painting a narrative. Because that narrative that judge basically painted is still stuck in a lot of these people's head. They'll say, oh, yeah, something wrong. And I know this because I sit with the lady that basically said the same thing. Oh, yeah, something is totally wrong. This is not. Oh, yeah, but they said he drowned.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The judge is not supposed, she on social media giving her point of view. She ain't supposed to be doing that. She not supposed to be doing it. So why, first of all, why isn't she being arrested? You ain't supposed to be on social media. She's already picking sides.
But hey. You know what I said about that chess move right there?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. How she didn't supposed to do that, it's kind of like you're sitting there, you're probably doing some cover-up type of thing. And whenever you try to do that type of cover-up, and the sheriff trying to basically act like he can't say anything, and I seen that the W something New Orleans or whatever lady, and he kind of had this, y'all trying to basically something and clip a scene or whatever. No, she is asking you to try to basically get more onto this story because, and like this DA, she like, oh, well, this right here is how the process is supposed to work. Yeah, this process that y'all want to just to play out how it's supposed to play out, how y'all let it play out, don't bring no justice to people. And it's because it has went almost national that why y'all are trying to basically try to figure out what to do now.
Exactly.
Because if anything, y'all wouldn't have actually been this deeply worried about it.
Exactly.
He just would have been another one of those four or five boys or whatever, or 4 or 5 people that basically is gone.
Exactly.
Well, but Nolan with that middle finger up there.
You like that? You like that thumbnail? You like that thumbnail? Kiki, we gonna have to get together soon, girlfriend. That's for sure.
Ma'am.
Thank you so much for being on here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm watching, girl. I'll talk to you later, girl.
All right, bye. So anyway, guys, you know what? I just finished talking to Kiki, and the whole thing in a nutshell, guys. I was going to put this picture in this presentation, and I forgot. And the whole thing in a nutshell, guys, there is a still picture going around. Evidently, the boys was on the boat. You remember they took the picture. They was hugged up on the back of the boat, and Nolan was on the back of the boat. It was like 4 of them hugged up, and Nolan was like the second from the right. Make a long story short, they said that picture had been altered, and somebody zoomed in on that motherfucking picture. They zoomed in on the picture, and they zoomed in on the guy's hand that was the furthest from Nolan. They zoomed in, and guess what? The motherfucker had 6 fingers. And guys, if you know anything about AI, when you try to manipulate a picture in AI has not get the fingers right. AI will fuck up some fingers. They'll fuck up some fingers. If you look at that picture, it has been manipulated. Not only does the boy got 6 fingers, but also from the original picture, from the AI picture, the can that he was holding in his hand is different too. The drink he is holding in his hand, I think it went from an energy drink to a beer. And then he had 6 fingers, or I might have it all fucked up. But anyway, whatever the case may be, that picture is circulating. So why are people manipulating the damn picture? And guys, we already know somebody was manipulating the fucking video. Come to find out, that video had nothing to do with Nolan. Talking about they would not let Nolan get on the boat. And evidently these white people was, guys, that had nothing to do with Nolan. But that picture, why did somebody take that picture and put it in the AI? And now the guy is holding a different drink and he's got 6 fingers. That shit is peculiar. Let's get on with this, guys. Guys, get these motherfucking likes up. I'm not playing with y'all. Get the motherfucking likes up right now, guys. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, guys. The phone line is still open. Guys, I'm just going to hold you for a little bit longer. The number is 682 812-9713.
I was all over Facebook, and you know, I just saw it everywhere, and I was freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, like you know, I assumed, Nolan's just, we had been drinking all day, and like, that he's just sleeping somewhere, and that he's okay. But I didn't want to believe that if we didn't know for sure. So I mean, next day I woke up and my stepdad walked in my room. He said, "Hey, like, have they heard anything about Nolan? Like, what's going on?" Because I hadn't spoke to him, and he was like, I was like, "Yeah, no, like, I don't know. I just gotten up," and he was like, "All right, well, we're going to get on the boat and looking for him." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." So I got my buddy Ricky, I got my buddy Brooks, I got my buddy Jax. My mom came on the boat with my stepdad and I, and we all went out there and looked. When I got out there was dozens of DMR boats, helicopters, planes flying over Horn Island. And this wasn't just Horn Island. There was also Ship Island they were looking at, I'm sure, and Chandelier Island, Petty Boy. I mean, it wasn't just Horn Island specifically, but where I was at Horn, there were boats everywhere, and not just like random boats, but like, marine resource boats and, cops and, the whole nine. Like, it wasn't like there was just a couple boats looking for Nolan. There was planes and helicopters and, everybody. So.
And then after this, obviously they didn't find Nolan that day.
Right.
And so what was your reaction like when you heard the news, or how did you hear the news that?
So they said they didn't find Nolan's body that day. He went missing 4th of July weekend. His father and the coach went out the 5th, which is the next day. They did not find Nolan's body till the 6th. Now, some of y'all been alluding to the fact there's a great possibility that the body was brought back out there to the island. I don't know how true that is. Shit! I wasn't there. But there's a great possibility this is what some of y'all are alluding to.
They found Nolan's body.
Well, the next day, it got to be about 1 o'clock on July 5th, and I was like, my mind started to turn. I was like, man, if he's not awake yet, like, where is he? Like, I got very, very worried. And, I was with my buddy Brooke.
Let's read what Kiki said. Why would you think anything is wrong? Who called the mom to alert anything was wrong? Exactly. If you didn't think shit was wrong, what you calling the mama for? Because you trying to cover your ass. Let's just call the thing a thing. That's what you trying to do. You trying to cover your ass.
The next day, and we're driving, and my buddies were texting under each other like, "Hey, listen, I got a phone call from my buddy Tristan." He was like, "Hey, man, they just found his body."
Okay, Tristan, that's another motherfucker. That Nolan mama, Christine, she got on the mic and she said she don't even know who the fuck. She don't know who the fuck Tristan is. She don't even know who the fuck he is. Sitting up there on social media, sitting on there on TMZ, and sitting up there saying that they were good friends, and the mama said she don't know who the fuck he was.
It was like, I wanted to have hope, but it was really, really hard to have hope when they haven't found your buddy in the last 2 days, and
the same buddy you left out there.
Like, maybe he's not gone, and maybe he's okay. But my reaction was just, I was with my buddy Brooks, and I broke down. I mean, I haven't experienced death a lot, but especially with someone I'm as close with as Nolan, and I mean, I broke down, and I sat there on my buddy Brooks' shoulder and I cried, and I was upset. I made a couple phone calls to my buddies and checked up on my buddies because, I care about my buddies too. I mean, like, we're all experienced this. Like, we all realized at the same time. We all heard the news at the same time. Like, he's gone.
Right here is where Nolan and probably 20 other kids got on the boat. So it's not just Nolan and 3 other kids. That was a lie. That was a myth. I'm going to prove that.
Let me tell you about this Officer Tatum. Sometimes he can rub a motherfucker the wrong way. Guys, he's never neutral. He's never fucking neutral. That's what I don't like about him. He got some Uncle Thomas type of ways. But we're going to listen to this motherfucker.
right here is where the kids were docking, and we're going to show you a video that coincides. I'm going to walk at the exact angle that the video is being broadcast from, so you know that I'm exactly where I say I am. But the boys were here. Tons of people you'll see on the video is getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys.
We already know that. Get to the point.
Several different boats, and some of the boys that they're accusing weren't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am. And so
now he just sat there and said some of the boys that everybody's accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But guess what? They could have met his ass when they got to Horn Island. Okay, don't fucking play games.
Now, here's the angle that you're gonna see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys going out here.
Ain't nobody said that shit. You making up shit now.
Horn Island, and almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was. So if you look out right here, just so you guys can get a perspective, you have the Horn Island here. But I want you guys to put this in your mind what this was like on that day. You have boats 2, 3, 4 deep from way down there where you can see all the way through here. You have thousands of people on this island, probably 2,000 people. So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island where nobody's at. Obviously this is a Monday and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again. This place was flooded with people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups.
Guys, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I had not heard it was 2,000 people. I heard it was more like 300-400 people on that island on the 4th of July weekend. Guys, I could be wrong. Been wrong before, be wrong again. Put it in the chat, guys. I heard it was just 300-400 people up in. He's talking about 2,000. Put it in the chat, guys. Somebody let me know.
Everybody's here having a good time. And then the boat gets towed out because it was getting ready to sink. And so, and for what I was told, they told Nolan, get on the boat, man. Get on the boat. Get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was going to stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, and they said it had something to do with his death, they were all gone at 4:30. They were all gone. And they told Nolan to get on the boat. He didn't. And then there was a report of somebody seeing Nolan around 6:30-ish. And so for them to come out and claim these lies, won't take the time to come to Horn Island, won't take the trip out here to figure out what happened, won't talk to anybody.
Who the fuck gonna go out there?
It's wrong. Is there anything that you want to say, you want people to know about this whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, from someone, if someone's not from here, it's kind of hard to understand, where the island drops off and how the island works. But, there's plenty of people out here, especially on the 4th of July, this is where people come out to celebrate. And, I mean, if you fill the water, you can see right here, Brandon, where it drops off. I mean, you can see literally where it drops off. So, I mean, it goes from about waist deep water right there to neck deep. And then it drops from neck deep all the way to like 17, 20 foot. I mean, we weren't...
Okay, guys, I just did a search. Granny did a motherfucking search. Says this motherfucking lie. It says Biggie is dated approximately 300 people were reported there at Horn Island on this past 4th of July weekend. Now, did this motherfucker just say 2,000? You making up shit.
A quarter mile off the island, and when we were leaving, and I mean, it was 30 foot of water.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west, that's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk about the phone situation. I wanted to, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants they're wet, and you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones, or?
No, I mean, people come out here, especially on the 4th and, Memorial Day, days like that, they come out here to celebrate.
E Nice, you ain't the only one that said this shit. This motherfucker just flapping his gums ain't said shit yet. Just flapping them. Flapping his gums ain't told us shit about what actually happened to Nolan. Really ain't gave us no serious, like, firm time frame. You scatterbrain all over the motherfucking place.
And people get on the water to be off their phones, first off. Second off, if I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat, in a lake, you know, if you're sitting on a pond, and no one's getting out on the water with their phone in their hand, unless, you know, it's to take a quick picture. But most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat.
And people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. You told him to get on the boat, he didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well, Wyatt was having boat issues and the bilge.
Oh, he's saying the same thing over and over and over again. Shit.
A pump that releases water from your boat when water comes in. So I opened the back hatch and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. There's water almost coming over the transom, which is where your motors sit and which is the, you know, by the stern, like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency.
You done said that shit already. You said that shit already. Get to some new shit, would you please?
The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island.
You keep saying that. You keep saying that.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up.
You know what he said? He said Katie had texted him, didn't she? He said Katie, he got a text or some shit like that. First of all, I didn't even know he fucking knew Katie to even text her. He said he can confirm that through some type of text. Am I wrong, guys? Through some type of text. That's what he said. You didn't even know Katie from what we understood, and Nolan barely knew Katie either. So he already said there was some type of text to confirm that Nolan stayed behind with Katie. What the fuck is the text? We ain't seen that shit yet.
Because I think it's important for people to have the context of like what it was on that day, what happened, what didn't happen. And
I just know I lost my best friend.
This morning, a friend
Thank you, Christy. We got Christy in the house. This motherfucker just keep repeating himself.
Happened during a July 4th boat trip to an isolated barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he...
Yeah, you didn't want to get on camera, Trayston, because the parents didn't even know who the fuck you was. And you acting like y'all besties. Y'all took one motherfucking picture and all of a sudden y'all besties.
His friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard addressed this viral video that investigators have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
That's the video I'm referring to. That's me yelling.
Shepard says he took a boat back from Horn Island in the late afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe Wells drowned and say there were no immediate signs of foul play. But there is...
Guys, Katie, I've said this before. Woo! My butt is hurt. But anyway, Katie had to open her mouth to her mother and to her sister so she could let it out to the public that evidently she said that Nolan was going to get back on that boat and that their conversation was just high and by. She had to say something because if she didn't say something, then we'd be looking at Katie's ass a little sideways. Because if that's the case, if he stayed behind with Katie, then there's a great possibility or Katie or somebody else on that island had something to do with the unaliving of Nolan Wells. And I've said this before, go say it again. I don't fucking like how Ben Crump was made. And I say he was made because he held that big ass conference or whatever. He would have looked foolish if he didn't get on national television. But anyway, for some reason, But I don't know. I'm sure the doctor was busy. But when he got unbusy, he should have had a press conference because there's a lot of unanswered questions. And right now, I'm on the fence with this shit. As far as that autopsy, that damn doctor should have been the one reading off his fucking findings, not Attorney Crump, in my opinion. I love me some Crump, guys. I'll fuck you up over some Crump. I love me some Crump. But it should have been a doctor. And that's what's making me kind of like, I don't know. Was this an accident or was this shit done on purpose?
Growing frustration in the community, and his parents are skeptical, telling GMA Wells left his phone behind and they tracked it to one of his friends.
It was showing everywhere the phone had been, like it had, I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land.
The sheriff said the parents have not turned over the phone to investigators. Their lawyers said they will. While the investigation goes on, Tristan Shepard wants the focus on his friend.
I want everybody just to relax and let
Mama don't even know your ass.
the loss of Nolan and let us remember him as in like the sweet guy. I think everybody needs to let the investigation continue and let the facts be shown.
Shepard told us he has spoken to the police, and the sheriff's department said both he and other friends of Wells have been cooperative.
Devon, have you seen the video that's been going around social media?
So this video from TMZ. Now this is a good friend. And the mother recognizes this friend. These other light-skinned boys, I ain't sure about that. But the mother does recognize this boy as being a friend of Nolan's.
Where people think that they're hearing an argument between people and they're wondering whether or not Nolan is one of the people in that argument. You just described that you had another friend, not Nolan, another friend who was in and got into a dispute. Is that video the other argument that you were talking about?
Yes.
So, but is that Nolan in the video?
I can't tell, it's too far away, but in that video, I feel like the voices are too clear, like from the side. It's too clear for it to be that far away, for it to be Nolan arguing. And then also that altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into the altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in the altercation, I was calming him down, they were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it. So,
describe that. That's kind of interesting. What was that about?
He was just very hostile. Like, he was like really like mad. Like they were trying to, like the parents on that boat were trying to get him out.
I'm curious if the police have. I know they said they're still investigating. Did any investigators ever speak to you about what you saw that day?
No, sir.
Really? Okay. Cops have not talked to you yet.
No, sir.
That's
awesome.
That's fucking odd. No, the cops ain't in. They ain't talked to his ass yet because the cops ain't trying to find out. In my opinion, they ain't trying to find out. They ain't trying to get this case solved. That's what's not about to happen. Guys, before we get out of here, let's talk about the poll that I created. I said, are Nolan Wells' friends guilty of murder? Unaliving Nolan Wells. And I'm thinking, guys, somebody knows something. Somebody know something. I'm just not really sure, guys. I'm not really sure who it could be. The whole thing that make me think it's the friends is because y'all got back to the mainland and started deleting shit, went out to eat together. And then you didn't notify their parents until 11 o'clock at night. So that make me think that y'all trying to get y'all motherfucking story together. That's what I'm thinking.
To talk to me, I mean, obviously, like, you know, like I had said my plea, like, because whenever I had talked to the people at Sunherd, it was whenever, you know, the body was discovered and the autopsy people and all those people were there.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Guys, Granny done set up here and read out the poll, and did I tell y'all the percentage? 79% of y'all says that y'all believe that Nolan Wells' friends had something to do with his unaliving, and 21% of y'all said no. I'm sorry, guys. Granny having a senior moment up in this motherfucking camp.
I'm surprised because you knew Nolan well, and you knew that he was friends with these guys who were the last ones to be around him before his body was found. And I would think they would at least want to know, hey, just the things we're asking. Right. You know, did you ever hear of any of this stuff? It's odd to me. Just to gather information.
It is odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm completely fine with that. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. Like, that's my boy, and I want him to find justice. Like,
Yes,
that
we
like this
justice
whole
for
case
Nolan.
thing, like whatever, like this whole situation, none of this adds up to me. So like it's really hard, like for like people to just like keep on saying things when like none of it adds up, honestly.
So one of the things that I'm sure Javon you've seen has been a big part of this story, people making the point that at least in the photos that we initially saw that Nolan was the only African American kid who was out there, at least on that boat. Do you think, having been there on the island with this large group of people, that race plays a factor in whatever happened here?
Again,
You know what, guys? And I ain't gonna try to cut his ass off. But at first, I didn't think that it had nothing to do with race. I thought that the white boys was upset because Katie was showing Nolan attention. That's what I thought. I wasn't thinking the race thing. But now I'm sort of kind of thinking it might have something to do with race. I was thinking because Nolan met Katie out there, and Katie seemed like they was, I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to hook up, whatever the case may be. I thought the boys might have been jealous. That's my perspective.
I don't want to answer that question.
Look, he don't want to talk about it. He don't want to talk about it.
It's normal. It's not out of place to be a black teen in that area and that you have white.
That's so sad.
Right? That's not uncommon, is what you're saying.
I'm sure every black person has white friends somewhere, So I wouldn't say that it's a whole race thing, but it's just like obviously they're gonna paint it as that because none of this adds up.
Guys, may Nolan rest in peace, and let me get something straight. I might get on here and make fun, but never will I be making fun of the deceit. I'll make fun of the goofy, silly motherfucker who think they're going to be able to get away with this shit. Somebody did something, especially once that doctor opens his motherfucking mouth and tell us about that autopsy, especially when we get the damn bones from his throat. Once we get some more information on that, I would be able to clearly say, yeah, it was an accident, or no, somebody unalived Nolan. But guys, if somebody unalived him, guys, oh my God, I can't even form the fucking words. This boy was 18 years old doing the damn thing. Good student. Everybody loved him. He got a bunch of siblings. It was 6 of them all together. And then one of y'all got on this motherfucker set up there and said that evidently the family really needed to GoFundMe. They ain't need a motherfucker GoFundMe money, guys. They ain't. I said this in another video. Christine, she is a nurse practitioner doing the goddamn thing. Doing it! And then the daddy, he has something to do with foreign cars or whatever the case may be. They were making their own goddamn money. Don't play games. They don't need no GoFundMe. They don't need nothing this, that, the third. They don't need all of that. But guys, they got that body out of damn Mississippi because that crazy ass coroner that they had. Okay, and she under investigation right now too. And if she ain't, she need to be. Because every black case this motherfucker get, she never sides with the black folks. She never slides. And guys, I don't want to make this about race, and I'm going to tell you something, guys. Myself, I'm biracial. I'm biracial my goddamn self. So, guys, I'm on the fence with this shit. That's why I say I really don't want to say it's about race. I really want to say, and it hurts my heart if it is about race, I really want to say that these boys was jealous. That's what I want to say. All right, guys, I'm Kelly, K to the E. Oh, shit. I'm not Kelly. I'm Grandma right now. I'm on Granny Cam, guys. Anyway. I was about to say I'm Kelly, K to the E double L-I-E from Why I Kills You TV. I can't say that, guys. We on great. Guys, I got out of character for 5 seconds. Anyway, make sure you go ahead and like, share, subscribe to this channel. I greatly appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.